are looking at Rice Field and Elkhart, and tonight, the two big dogs on the porch of the NIC start barking at each other. The Penn Kingsmen come a-calling on the Elkhart Lions on this edition of the 46th Game of the Week. How you doing, everybody? With the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. We'll hear from Bob Nagel shortly. The Penn Kingsmen come in with a record of 2-2, having lost to two Catholic powers and Cathedral and St. Xavier of Cincinnati. But it's now NIC time, and the Kingsmen are ready to defend their share of the crown.
Well, that's the exact reason why Corey and this Kingsman team went out and played a non-conference opponents like they did and scheduled those teams so they can prepare for this NIC matchup and for this gauntlet that they're going to have here for the end of the regular season and win yet another trophy.
And nobody's more excited about the NIC season than the veteran Kingsman coach, Corey Oman.
Oh, we're ready to go, ready to start the NIC. You know, I mean, this is an exciting time and naturally a heck of a challenge and against a great team and some great athletes. But that's what you want to do. That's what these kind of games you want to play in.
Brand new coach Robinson St. Louis is 4-0 as the head coach of the Elkhart Lions, but he knows his team faces its biggest test tonight.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest questions coming in. Week one, we were here and we were questioning, is this Elkhart team for real? What are they? Are they the team that's going to come in here and win the NIC? Well, they're 4-0 right now, but I think their biggest test of the year is going to come tonight. And can they put up points early, and they cannot make mistakes throughout this game?
Robinson St. Louis knows his team may face some adversity tonight.
Yeah, I think that's very important. One of the things that I told them is it's a good team. So you might be down. I don't know how long. You've been down for one drive, right? You might be down. You might go into halftime down. How do you respond? That's going to be the difference maker, is the mindset piece. How do you respond when things aren't going exactly how you pictured it? And I think our guys are going to respond, so I'm excited to watch them.
And just to build on what Bo alluded to, Elkhart's four opponents are 2-14 for the season. So the question is, are we looking at a paper lion or one that really has some sharp claws?
I think the biggest thing coming in this, they have to have the confidence. They have to come in here and believe that they can win. 2 years ago, Penn's only loss on this field ever. The confidence level of that Elkhart team was very high, and they came in and they faced some adversity early in that game, but they overcame that. And I think with this team tonight, they're going to see some adversity, and they have to overcome it.
Our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show and our Jordan Automotive Keys to Win are coming up. But many of you have been concerned. Where's Bob Nagel? What's going on with him? Well, we have an important announcement, and here's Bob to tell you himself.
Hi, Bob Nagel. Very grateful for this opportunity to say thank you to all of you who have watched us here on TV 46 over the years. It's been a terrific run and a lot of fun for all of us, but I've decided that chasing grandchildren and golf balls might be more in my future, and so I'm stepping away from the high school game of the week. I want to thank my broadcast partners, Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt, for all their friendship and help. And I got to tell you something, Chuck Freeby is a true gift to this community. And I appreciate so much our time together for 19 years. Also want to thank our leadership team here at TV 46, our president, Drew Summerall, our vice president, Angela Grabowski, and Adam Summerall, who has joined the team. They've done a terrific job over the years of moving us forward and making us very successful here at WHME. I want to thank our production staff, led by Dean Korsmo. Dean has not only been a dear friend, but a terrific contributor to all of our success. We thank him, along with Mike Doherty, who's been here about as long as I have. And also want to thank our talented and gifted young producers and cameramen who help make us look so good on a Friday night. It's been a terrific run, and again, after 33 years here at WHME and 46 years in broadcast, I am going to walk away from this career. But you know, Lou Holtz once said, if you love what you do for a living, you don't ever go to work. And I have loved every minute of my broadcast career. And once again, thank you all for watching, and be well.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Interra Credit Union, HealthLink, Jordan Automotive Group, TCU, Electrical Workers, Crown Trophy, St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. We welcome you into Rice Field for the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show featuring our Jordan Automotive keys to win. This Blazer Brigade entertaining the crowd with the Elkhart fight song here before the game. Moments ago, they played the national anthem, and the third-year American Sign Language students from both schools signed the anthem, and that included a couple of football players at each 50-yard line. It was a very impressive sight. We think we'll have a very impressive football game for you tonight as we introduce you to our Jordan Automotive keys to win. We start with the Penn Kingsmen, who are quarterbacked by 6'2", 203-pound junior Nolan McCullough. He has thrown for 394 yards and 3 touchdowns in their first 4 games. But what makes McCullough dangerous is the ability to run, averaging 5 yards a carry and 4 touchdowns. And defensively, they are spearheaded by the big Polynesian Wallace Kennick, 6'2", 246-pound senior. He has an offer from Indiana State. 13 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. If that big fella's getting behind the line of scrimmage tonight, ooh, he looks angry. That could be a long night for the Lions.
Keys to win tonight
keys to win for Corey Yeoman's Ball Club.
They need to finish drives. I think that's one of the biggest things that Corey and his Kingsmen need to do. They get down the red zone. They need to make sure they score. Avoid big chunk plays out of these Elkhart Lion team. They're able to put up big numbers and fast and be special on special teams. Have some big plays, have some fun, and have some big returns.
As you see the Penn Kingsmen amass in the end zone, getting ready to run to the far sideline. Let's now look at the keys to win for the Elkhart Lions, and they are led in the running game by Elias Leonard. The 5'10", 170-pound senior was a 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. He's at 302 yards through the first 4 games with 7 touchdowns, and he'll get help from Gavin Hauser. What a punishing run he had last week against South Bend, Washington. Reminds me of the guy that wore 21 at one point. Hauser has 6 receptions for 183 yards, 204 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns, and he's been a demon on defense. The keys to win for Robinson St. Louis on the line.
Yeah, the keys to win tonight for the Lions that are 4-0, they need to play with discipline. They cannot over-pursue. Penn will like to cut it back and throw some traps on the backside and make it a space race. They need to make sure they get out of the space and get out of the box and get out to these corners, and let's get physical. They cannot be afraid of this Penn Kingsman team. They need to be physical. They need to have confidence. They need to believe that they can win this game.
The series history does not date back that far because the first unification of Elkhart High School never played Penn. So the only time a single Elkhart High School has played Penn has been in the last couple of years. Penn won twice last season. They lead the series 2-1. Elkhart's only win at Rice Field in the entire series, and that includes Elkhart Central and Elkhart Memorial, happened here in 2020. If you go back and include those 2 single Elkhart schools, Central Memorial, Penn is a remarkable 81-4 against Elkhart.
And only 1 loss here on this field. That's just amazing about that.
It is a beautiful night on the banks of the Elkhart River. Our weather brought to you by Granger Lawnmower Place. And folks, you're going to be mowing your lawn for a while if we keep having weather like this, because it doesn't seem any different than it did in week 1 of the season. Temperature 80 degrees, a gentle zephyr out of the south at 7 miles an hour, keeping the mosquitoes away. No chance of precipitation here in the city with a heart tonight. And a veteran officiating crew with us tonight, the Ed Hockley of high school officials, Dave Spencer, down there leading this crew with Michael Banashak, Todd Baum, Michael Grennert, and Roy White. They flipped the coin. Elkhart has won the toss. They decide to defer. Penn has elected to receive, and it looks like Elkhart has decided to kick into the wind, and Penn will receive down at the right end of the press box here at beautiful Rice Field. Bo, a couple of teams that most people had high expectations for coming into the season. Yes, Penn's record deceiving at 2-2. I still think they're the Kings until they get toppled.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that. I mean, and that's what Elkhart has to believe. They have to come in here and believe that they're the Kings as well, and they're the ones that are 4-0. They're the ones that have the best record. They're the ones that last defeated them on this field in regular season. So I think that's the biggest thing Elkhart has to do. But Penn's going to be Penn. They're going to come in here. They're going to believe that their record of 2-2 is very deceiving, and that they're the ones that need to be able to get knocked off.
As you might expect with 2 schools of this enrollment and a game of this magnitude, pretty good crowd here on the banks of the Elkhart River tonight at Rice Field. 99 years ago, they played the first game at this facility. There's been a lot of renovations since then, the addition of bleachers, lights, the whole 9 yards. But it is one of the great facilities in northern Indiana for football. As you look down at the Elkhart special teams, it'll be Jeremiah Aguirre doing the kicking for Elkhart. And back deep to receive for Penn. They've got a trio back there that includes Jake Bayless, JoJo Williams, and DJ White.
For kickoff here, let's give a quick uniform check, sponsored by St. Andrews Products. The home team, the Elkhart Lions, they're wearing royal blue jerseys and pants, white numbers, Vegas gold helmets, and the visiting team, the Penn Kingsmen, white jerseys, black pants, black numbers, and gold helmets. These teams look great, and so can your team. For the finest in apparel and promotional products, contact St. Andrews Products at sales@standrewcorp.com.
Elkhart this year with a special helmet that includes Mr. B, the old Blazer mascot, and the Crimson Charger horsehead to honor the seniors, the first class that went all the way through Elkhart High School. So we are ready to go. Toe meets leather, and we're underway in the city with a heart. Jake Bayless at his 12. Bayless all the way up to the 31-yard line before he's brought down by Darian Newsom. So good field position for the Penn Kingsmen as they start their opening drive. And our first quarter tonight is being brought to us by our friends at Hardware Plus. That's Nolan McCullough, this Penn quarterback, very poised young man. 14-1 as a starter on the freshman and JV team. So this is not his first rodeo. Might be at the varsity level, and I realize it's a little bit different on Friday nights, but he's really been groomed for this role.
I think that's the biggest thing with Penn. They're able to groom them into this role by playing them at the freshman level, then the JV level, and moving them up slowly and letting them progress on their own.
He'll hand it off to Jake Bayless on a run-pass option, and Bayless has the first down. It's sponsored by Clover Machinery Movers as Bayless runs forward for 11, and we meet this Penn offense as you've got McCullough with JoJo Williams and Bayless in the backfield. DJ White, the leading receiver on the team. Brendan Huffman, one of 3 returning starters. And then you throw in an all-conference transfer in Auden Jones. He came over from Adams. Bayless ran for 10 yards and a first down. And it's 1st and 10 from the 41. McCullough from the pistol. He'll give it to Bayless again. Huge hole up the middle, and Bayless churns out 6 as we meet the Elkhart defense. And the starting line for Elkhart brought to us by Heine's Back Barn. Moses Fortoso leads this team in sacks and tackles for loss. The linebacking core headed up by Preston Stymack. And then in the secondary, look out for Darian Newsom, the safety. He had a pick 6 last week against Washington. 2nd and 4 as you look at Fortoso there on the defensive line. McCullough keeps it himself this time, wants to throw. He'll elude the rush, and he's got room for the first down and more. Gavin Hauser finally chases him out of bounds at the 42 of Elkhart, but it's a first down sponsored by Clover Machinery Movers.
Well, he'll see a great look at it here on the R&B Company replay. Over pursuit just a little bit by that Elkhart Lion defensive line, and he was able to get to the outside and pick up that big first down and move the chains. I think that's the biggest thing with Penn. They want to move those chains.
Pickup of 11 for McCullough, who with those feet adds a completely different dimension to the Penn offense than they've had in the last few years. From the 42, it's Bayless, hit as he got the football and spun down after a pickup of 1. That is a very good collision between a couple of well-built athletes there in Jake Bayless and Colin Price. Price, the 198-pound sophomore. So 2nd and 9. McCullough comes out, and again in the shotgun. DJ White split to the top of your screen. It's Bayless on the handoff, tried to turn left, and now a late flag comes in. So we got a flag on the play after Elkhart comes up with Preston Stymack making the tackle, but we'll see what the flag is all about.
We want to thank Freshies Pizza for feeding the TV crew tonight. Freshies is celebrating their grand opening on the corner of County Road 6 and Oslo Road in Elkhart, and has a great new menu with all your favorite pizza toppings, as well as several cheese options to choose from. Give them a try this weekend and welcome them into the neighborhood. For more information on their hours and the menu, find them on Facebook. That's Freshies Pizza in Elkhart.
Robinson St. Louis had a little bit of a difficult decision there. He could have left Penn with a 3rd and 10, but he takes the 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, which was back behind the line of scrimmage. And that moves Penn all the way back into its own territory at the 46-yard line, where they're looking at 2nd and 22.
I think the biggest thing, if they wouldn't have taken that, they're kind of in that no-man land where they probably would have went for it on 4th down if they didn't pick it up on 3rd as well.
Wound up being a 13-yard penalty for the Kingsmen. McCullough off a low snap. Fires, and he's got his man. The ball pops loose, and Penn recovers the fumble. What a stick by Darian Newsom as he separated the ball from the receiver, Austin Eisel. Watch it again on the R&B Car Company replay.
Wasn't sure if he actually had possession, but it did look like he did bring it down, got his feet planted. Didn't quite make a football move, but it was a good call.
Auden Jones made the fumble recovery at the 46. And that leaves Penn with a 3rd and 14, so pick up an 8 on the play. Woo, that was a stick. Elkhart's defense has been very good on 3rd down this year. Let's see if they come up with another one here. McCullough with time. Throws in the flat. Great catch by Bayless. And he'll go out of bounds at the 35, leaving Penn with a 4 and 3. But my goodness, what a catch by Jake Bayless. You'll get another look at R&B Car Company, I believe, one-handed.
Yeah, not only was it a great catch, it almost looked like if it was thrown inside, it might have been a pick 6, but just a good job of McCullough getting it to the outside. Great one-handed catch there. Big yardage pickup, but here comes a crucial 4th down play. We talked about it in this situation. They're kind of in no man's land and figured they would probably go for it, but they're lining up for the punt.
Corey Yeoman may be playing the field position game here. We'll see if he tries a fake. You don't see that from Penn teams often. Grant Mallory is the punter. He averages 31 yards a kick, and they would love that right now. But Mallory launches this one with the wind behind him, and it goes right into the end zone for the touchback. So Penn will only pick up 20 yards or 15 yards on the exchange.
Yeah, that's one of those things where as a punter, you got to really aim for that corner. That's one thing I did all the time. That's only a 15-yard punt right there. When you have all that room to play with, pin them down inside that 10-yard line, if anything.
There is Brady Kruper, the senior quarterback, one of a tandem of quarterbacks on this Elkhart team. Kruper 6 of 14 throwing the football for 76 yards and a touchdown. Kruper looking to the sidelines.
Looks like they're still waiting on a receiver to come into the backfield.
And finally, Trayvon Brown gets out there. I'll correct the stats on Kruper here in a minute. Kruper looks to throw. He's going to go long, but the receiver's not out there. There was just total confusion on that 1st down play from Elkhart. As we meet this Elkhart lineup sponsored by Heine's Back Bar. Now, we mentioned Elias Leonard, the leading rusher on the team. Good receiving core led up by Rodney Gates, Braden Jellison, and Raekwon Lemons, those big tackles, the anchors of the Elkhart offensive line. Elkhart looking at a 2nd and 10. Kruper actually came into the game completing 50% of his passes for 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. He'll give it on a jet sweep here, and trying to get around the corner and not having much success was Javen Sharp. In fact, he just got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it. So let's meet the Penn defense, and we'll tell you Wallace Kennick leads things up on a talented defensive line that also features returning starter Sam Sullivan. Good returning core of linebackers, Paulus Treber and Griffith, all returning starters. Taylor Bauer with 24 tackles, the leading tackler on the team. Elkhart looking at 3rd and 10. Cooper sends everybody out. He has time. Now he wants to run, lost the football. Penn has it, and it could be a scoop and score. It is. Touchdown, Kingsman. Vincent Horner runs it in for the score.
I was just going to say what great time that offensive line was giving him, but he stepped up in the pocket and kind of took a little bit to it. You can see right here in the R&B Company replay, lots of time, but he stepped up into the pocket. He didn't stay there. He started coasting out, and that gave the defender the straight beeline right to him to knock it out of his hands.
So Vince Horner with the fumble recovery for the touchdown, and the Kingsmen grab the early lead, not thanks to their offense, but their defense. Grant Mallory lines up for the extra point, 5'11" senior. The snap is clean, the kick is up, and it is good. 7:38 to go in the first quarter. Robinson St. Louis knew his team may face some adversity. He probably didn't expect it on a scoop and score. Vince Horner reaches pay dirt. 7-0 Kingsmen on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by Intera Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and invested. Corey Yeoman, the veteran Penn coach, third among area active coaches with 193 wins coming into the night. The factoid sponsored by Competitive Edge Sports and Spine. We'll see another one of those coaches next week with Bart Curtis down at Warsaw. But 20 years at the helm for Corey Yeoman and pretty close to 200 wins, and yet people still complain.
You always talk as a coach, you can never make everybody happy. You do your best to be there for the kids and be there to really instill in them some discipline, some hard work, some dedication, and that's what it takes, especially in these days with football and all the other things that you're getting pulled this way and that way with different sports and different things. And it's credit, a lot of these kids are multi-sport athletes, and it's a credit to them going out there and trying to get it done both academically and on the field.
I will say it never appears to affect him. He is even keel every time we see him. He is the same Corey Yeoman.
Exactly, yep.
Grant Mallory with the kickoff. It's a high spinner that Jaquavion Eccles can't handle. It goes into the end zone for the touchback, and Elkhart will take it 1st and 10 at the 20. And early on, at least, Bo, it's a small sample size, but Elkhart seems a little jittery.
Yeah, that first series, I mean, it started on the first play when they didn't have the right lineup in there. They looked like they didn't run the right route. Then a little bit, the second down, little end-around sweep. Containment was there for Penn's defense, really knocked them down, and then a lot of pressure, just taking a little bit too much time. So see how they adjust here, see how they react to this adversity that they have here early in the game.
So after the 19-yard scoop and score by Vince Horner, Brady Cooper brings the Lions out 1st and 10 at their own 20. And it's Elias Leonard trying to go up the middle, and there's not much running room there. He might have had a yard. A host of Kingsmen around him, including Ryan Trieber, the linebacker, with help from Brandon Lynch.
Whether it be for the best burger in town, a juicy steak, or a slow roasted prime rib, Heine's Back Barn in Elkhart is the place to go. The DeShone family has been serving the Michiana area for decades, and the food just gets better and better. Stop in tonight and say hello to Troy and the gang and enjoy a fantastic meal with a great service from Heine's in Elkhart, located on Lusher Avenue.
Dave Spencer looking up at the press box. There was a problem with the clock. And so Dave says, now you can run the clock. 2nd and 9. Cooper to Gavin Hauser. The big back for Elkhart found the seam, dragging tacklers for the first down up to the 33. He has really worked on the strength of his legs, and it showed on that run.
Yeah, it definitely did. You can see a great job here on the R&B Company replay. Just a great job of getting through that first surge, and then once he had some arm tackles, he was running through them and picking up at least 7 yards after the first guy hit him.
Taylor Bauer finally brought him down, but not until he got a first down, sponsored by 4T Door Systems. From the 33, Penn showing blitz on the corner, and here they come. Hauser sprints away from one man, but can't get away from the whole defense. Brandon Lynch, the junior linebacker, coming in to make his 17th tackle for the year after a pickup of 1.
Penn really packing it in on the run, just daring them to kind of pass down the field.
And as you look at this Elkhart team, they have been more successful in the running game than the passing game. They utilize a 2-quarterback system. Quinn Rost has been the more efficient in terms of completion percentage, in terms of throwing the football. But Brady Cooper, a senior, has been through the wars. 2nd and 9. They give it to Elias Leonard. Leonard shags one tackler and then goes forward and picks up about 3 yards on the play. And Elkhart will be looking at 3rd and about 6.
For all your aches and pains, visited Competitive Edge Sports and Spine, providing chiropractic and massage therapy in Osceola next to Wings Etc. Proudly supporting Michiana athletes. Everyone in life needs to find a competitive edge to win. That's Competitive Edge Sports and Spine.
3rd and 6 from the 37. Penn again showing blitz and then backing out of it. Play action pass. Cooper throws, and there's nobody out there. He was hoping to get it to Rodney Gates, but Gates was well covered. Wanted a flag, it will not come.
Big pressure came right away on that play and forced him out of the pocket.
So a punting situation for Elkhart. And the punter for Elkhart is Rodney Gates, who only averages 30 yards a punt. Penn, typically very good in special teams, puts DJ White and Jake Bayless back deep. Bayless averages about 11 yards a return.
Yeah, Penn likes to have setups on their punt returns, making sure they try to pick up some big yard returns if they're able to, depending on the punt, of course.
Very similar to what we saw from Jimtown
Yeah,
last
they
week.
did a great job of setting that wall up 2-3 times. They had some huge returns.
Gates not that far back, and he just did get out of there. A side spinning kick that Bayless will just field at his 30 and be happy to make the catch. And now we got a flag after the play, and we'll see what this is all about. A personal foul against Penn, and Elkhart's going to get a first down out of this, and you'll get another look from R&B Car Company. Rodney Gates lucky to get this kick off, and then he keeps going at him, and that was too much for the taste of the officiating crew.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is because he was on the ground and he was pushing him while he was on the ground.
So a personal foul, but it looks as though they're going to mark this off from the spot of where the punt was caught because it happened after the play.
Yeah, so it'll be half a distance goal, and Penn will take over about the 15-yard line.
As it wasn't a bad kick from Gates, 33 yards with no return, and now it will wind up looking like a 48-yard.
Clover Machinery Movers is proud to support Kingsmen Athletics. For over 65 years, Clover Machinery Movers has been providing professional and reliable machinery moving. When you need your project done right, on time, and on budget, contact the experts at Clover Machinery Movers.
Penn switches up the backs in the backfield. JoJo Williams now behind Nolan McCullough, but there's movement along the line of scrimmage, and I think Elkhart may have jumped offside.
McCullough changing the snap count up a little bit just to change things up so Elkhart can't get a running start or a timing start, which is good to do that early and often.
First flag tonight against the Lions. Penn has had 2. White and Elijah Coker to the bottom of your screen. In fact, Coker past your screen. But it's JoJo Williams coming up the middle, and Williams is brought down on the tackle by Preston Stymack at about the 23-yard line after a pickup of 3. First carry of the night for Williams, who has rushed for 200 yards in the first 4 games for the Kingsmen.
5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We still see people filing in the stadium here, coming in the parking lot, still getting people parking. Great crowd on hand tonight. Beautiful night for a football game.
Always a big crowd when these two schools get together. Nolan McCullough on 2nd and 2. Fakes, now wants to throw in the flat, and well covered that time by Braden Cook of Elkhart. They were looking for DJ White, but Cook was with them stride for stride.
Yeah, it was a great defensive play again. There's coming up again, just a very minute second away from a pick six on that play. And the second time, a little out route on the flats could have turned into a 6-point opposite direction touchdown.
So now Penn on a 3rd and 2. And look at McCullough get in under center here for one of the few times tonight. They might try to go behind that big offensive line, but a flag thrown and a delay of game. Nope, a false start on Penn. And all of a sudden, 3rd and 2 is a whole different down at 3rd and 7.
Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
The play clocks are not running, so I get the feeling that there's a problem with those right now on the field. That's what Dave Spencer was yelling about earlier. And now official comes in, and we've got a timeout called by Penn. And we'll take it with this timeout sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. 4:15 to go first quarter. Penn leading Elkhart 7-0 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Paul mentioned the crowd. Students were here early. They had no problem showing up for Hawaiian night. And the tropical shirts actually pretty comfortable on a night like this.
Yeah, and they were fortunate enough to give us some apparel as well to wear while we're up here.
Yes, we were given lays. That is the best way I'm going to describe this. Despite the pleas of our crew. 3rd and 7. Nolan McCullough at quarterback. And the three-sport athlete rolls out, looks downfield. Now he's going to try to run for it, and he's got the first down and knocked out of bounds. Very close to a late hit at the 31-yard line. And he'll have a first down sponsored by Clover Machinery Movers.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a coach even got taken out here. And see if we get a replay of this. Here we come, the R&B Company replay. See, a great job of really just tucking it. Knew he had the first down. A little bit of push right. I think that was right on the line, so you can't really call that.
You're never sure what he's going to do until he actually does go out. So, and there was an official right there on top of the play. 1st and 10 at the 31. Pick up a 13 that time for McCullough on 3rd and 7. Penn executing its game plan well here. This is JoJo Williams bouncing to the outside. He is dragged down, but flags come in all over the place, which makes you think it was a pretty easy call, maybe on the face mask.
It was either a hold or a face mask. I'm not sure which one they called there, but all three of them came in at the same time. It was right when they were starting to wrap up. Yep.
That'll be 15 yards and a first down, sponsored by Clover Machinery Movers. And we'll see if we can pick it up. Keep an eye on the top here with Williams. And when the head, well,
I think it was right at the beginning, right when he made contact, you saw his head rip around.
Couldn't really see who the guilty party was, so we'll protect the innocent. But Penn has the ball 1st and 10 at the 49.
Can Penn moving the chains again, keeping these drives alive?
Here's McCullough keeping it himself. He gets hit, falls forward to the Elkhart 49-yard line, pickup of 2. Coming in to make the hit was Preston Stymack, who has had a wonderful year at linebacker. He is a three-sport athlete here at Elkhart. Catcher on the baseball team, a wrestler, but also an altar server. It's like he's got multiple personalities.
Well, a lot of these kids, we talked about all the stuff that they do. You know, before the game, they had the national anthem being played, and kids from both schools were signing the national anthem, and we had football players from both sides out there as well. And so just a lot of multitude of extracurricular activities that these kids do.
2nd and 9. McCullough throws in the flat, intercepted. Brayton Cook kissing goodbye. Touchdown, Elkhart. They're back offenses are 0-0. The defenses might be an extra point away from 7-7. The touchdown sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe. You had said 2 other passes were close.
Yep, and it's the same, almost the same pass route. It's that little out in the flats, and they got somebody sitting on that all day. Somebody was sitting there. That time they actually backed up a little bit, played a little bit more zone. The receiver stopped, and the ball was overthrown a little bit because he's used to throwing that outside on the last 2 passes.
So now Jeremiah Aguilera comes on to try the extra point. The snap is good. The kick is up, and it is good. 2:55 remains in the first quarter. And Braden Cook with an early candidate for the electrical workers electrifying play of the game, because he just electrified the home crowd here with this pick 6.
Well, it's just a great job of just reading it, sitting back. Biggest thing with defensive players is they have a tendency to drop those easy ones. The reason they're playing defense and not offensive receivers because they don't always have the best hands, but what a great job of looking it in and then taking the distance.
7-7 ball game. Both teams relying on their defenses to score.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is an industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. We specialize in process components for major industries, including aerospace, medical, and military and defense. IFT is excited about the over 60-year history and looking forward to the challenges ahead. At Imagineering Finishing Technologies, quality is a way of life.
So let's go back to what Ramos in St. Louis said about facing adversity. How would his team respond? Well, his defense responded very well right there. But one thing that has to be a concern to the Lions head coach right now is the fact that Penn is having much more success moving the football than his offense.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing right now is Penn's having that success, but they haven't put up any points from the offensive side. And I think that's one thing that Elkhart can be satisfied with at this point is they haven't given up any points on the defensive side of the ball.
Bayless takes a high spinning kick at his 11. Look at him go. And Jake Bayless all the way up to the 40-yard line, the son of the Notre Dame strength and conditioning coach, Matt Bayless, having a strong first quarter tonight. That's a 29-yard kickoff return.
That's a great job of really setting up that special teams, getting upfield, not zigzagging across the field on the special teams. You really got to get upfield to get those big yards.
So now a test for Nolan McCullough as he faces some adversity. What's his mindset as he comes back out here on the field after throwing the interception?
I think the biggest thing is you go right back to it. You show them that you have confidence. You maybe go for something deep down the sidelines. But knowing Penn, they might just run the ball here. Be safe.
Well, they've got a good running back in Bayless, so why not use him? He finds a hole, and Bayless wrestled down there by Trayvon Brown at the 48-yard line, a pickup of 8. We mentioned he's the son of the Notre Dame strength and conditioning coach. You can start to tell it when you see the side shot. He's got a license to the gun show.
Oh, yeah. I think that's one of the big changes in the past 15, 20 years to the high school program is the strength and conditioning that goes into these programs is up and beyond where it ever was back 20, 25 years ago. Just the dedication that it takes in the offseason and the focus that they have on that strength and conditioning as well.
2nd and 2 as you see Bayless standing there next to Nolan McCullough signaling a play. And it's Bayless again, but this time he got hit in the backfield by Moses Fortoso, or actually E.J. Aguirre got him. Bayless manages to get a yard, but Aguirre, one of those big Elkhart defensive tackles, 5'10", 266-pound junior, comes in and makes the hit.
Well, a lot of people talk about the speed and the ability to score on this Elkhart Lions team, but I think this defense is what really sparks them and really gets them going.
Defense leading the area in terms of fewest points allowed. The 7 points Penn has tonight will technically count against the scoring defense, but it really wasn't the defense's fault.
Elkhart packing that line, looking for a center sneak or something up the middle.
Now McCullough going to go shotgun on 3rd and 1, and Penn will use its 2nd timeout of the first quarter. And this timeout is sponsored by Klein Custom Homes.
For over 30 years, St. Andrew Products has set the standard for apparel, business gifts, and promotional items. We support great charities like Folds of Honor and the American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan. We can help your cause. Contact us at sales@standrewscorp.com. At St. Andrews, your expectations become our standards.
We've got a moment here. Let's ask tonight's TCU trivia question. Prior to the reunification, when was Penn's last loss to an Elkhart school? Now, we already told you it didn't happen here at Rice Field, but when did Penn lose to either Central or Memorial for the last time? We'll have the answer in a little bit. 1:15 to go, first quarter, 7-7 game here at Rice Field. The opening game of the Northern Indiana Conference season for both these schools.
A lot of undefeateds in the conference going on. These two undefeated. Bremen, Jimtown, both undefeated in the South Conference, small school conference, going head-to-head tonight as well.
Hard to believe you'd be interested in that game. Here's Bayless turning the corner, and a flag comes in. I think we've got a holding call against Penn. So the first down will be negated, and now Penn will be looking at a 3rd and 11. Maybe 3rd and 10 from where the flag was thrown. So somebody in the middle of that interior line for Penn. And we mentioned before, it's a veteran group, 3 returning starters. And then Auden Jones, number 63, the center, the transfer from South Bend, John Adams, coming over. So you wouldn't expect 2 holding penalties from that group tonight, but that's what we've had already in the first quarter. Penn 4 flags, 43 yards.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is when you go up against strength on strength, it's a little bit different, but when you get a little bit more speed, you get out of sync and you like to hold in those situations. Wide open.
McCullough throws and finds the tight end, and that's going to be good for a first down. As he gets it to Cole Bennett, the backup tight end, the sophomore with his first catch of the season. And he takes it all the way up to the Elkhart 48-yard line, good for a first down. Sponsored by Clover Machinery Movers.
Yeah, it's a great job of just releasing. Bennett did a great job of getting to the outside, releasing, picking up that first down.
So pickup of 12 on the play for Bennett. First and 10. Penn will go back to the running game with Jake Bayless. Stutter step move. Exploded through the hold, then Darian Newsom holds him up at the 44 after a pickup of 4. Bayless now with 6 carries for 30 yards here in the first.
Again, the second week in a row. Last week with Jimtown Glenn. Jimtown really controlled the clock and really was on the field a lot with their offense and really grinding down that defense of Glenn. And same thing here. Penn has had the ball pretty much a majority of this first quarter and really wearing down this defense.
Sahib Al-Shui, the injured Kingsman lineman, down on the field right now. Looked like he might have gotten rolled a little bit. Slow to get up, but at least sitting up now. Only 20 seconds remain here in the first, and Al-Shui will be able to walk off under his own power. That's a great sign.
The Penn Boosters root for Kingsmen's success in this game and all season, supporting all Penn extracurricular activities. For only a $10 donation, you too can show your Penn spirit. Last year, Penn Boosters awarded over $59,000 for academic clubs and teams. Follow them on Facebook or go to pennbooster.org.
Looks like Penn will retire to the sidelines to kill the rest of the time here in the first quarter. A first quarter dominated by defenses. Yes, both teams scored, but both teams scored thanks to their defenses. They came out of the tunnels and the locker rooms fired up, and then Vincent Horner had a scoop and score from 19 yards out. Braden Cook says, "I'll see your 6 and raise you a pick 6" as he went for 55 yards for Peter. 7-7 after 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. Corey Yeoman on the sidelines will give you a Bills Heating sideline report after the second down play to start the second quarter. 2nd and 6 from the Lion 44. Nolan McCullough at quarterback. Play action pass. Looking in the flat and finds his man DJ White, who couldn't get both feet down, and he's out of bounds. So, Bo Hunt, we would normally go on the sidelines for a Bills Heating sideline report. We'll bring it up here to you. Your thoughts on this one through the first quarter?
I think one of the things coming in here is we weren't sure how Elkhart was going to react to Penn coming in here. I think they've reacted well, even with the adversity early in the game. I think they come out here, they're not showing any ill-feel effects of being scared, being nervous, or anything like that. They're out here to play football and win a football game.
Thought they did a little bit early, and
First
then once they
series,
got the
yeah.
pick six, they
Yep.
were back to normal.
This defense is really stepping up here, I believe, as well.
3rd and 6 right here. Can they come up with a money down play? Jake Bayless trying to go up the middle, can't get there. He got to the 42, and that's only a pickup of 2. They needed 6.
For the finest in casual dining, look no further than the Bristol Street Cafe, located at 500 West Bristol Street in Elkhart. Serving outstanding hearty breakfast and daily lunch specials until 2 p.m. The Bristol Street Cafe is a proud sponsor of Elkhart High School athletics.
So Grant Mallory comes on to punt. He boomed a 35-yarder into the end zone on his first effort. Sam Russo, the deep man for Elkhart, stands back at his own 10. Mallory's kick, a high floater that'll hit on the 5 and be down. No, it's a touchback. It got carried into the end zone.
Looked like he was just able to grab it, but his momentum carried into the end zone on those. Grab it and throw it back a little bit.
Vince Horner trying to make a valiant play right there, but couldn't come up with it. So Elkhart takes over where it always has, 1st and 10 at the 20, and you'll get another look at this one from the R&B Car Company replay. And you see the ball cross the plane, so even though he was standing outside, it's a touchback.
Kick to the corner. Kick to the corner.
Understand. I have another friend that doesn't understand why on 3rd and 1 people go shotgun. So a new quarterback for Elkhart. This is Quinn Rost. This is nothing new for the Lions. They do this a lot, and Rost on the run has a first down, and oh man, was he yanked down by the arm. That'll be 15 yards.
Looked like it got him by the collar, back to the shoulder pad area. That's going to be a big pickup. Not only the 15-20 on the carry, but another 15. Here you can see it on the R&B Company replay. Grabs a real, back of that jersey. And that's why they call that a penalty, because of that right there, being pulled down from behind. I mean, Quinn, not only football, great baseball player as well. I think that's
a career right there.
That could be a career-ending injury if he was pulled down the wrong way, and that's why they call that a penalty and forbid that to happen in this game.
Rost is only a sophomore, 5'10", 165 pounds. He'll hand it off here to Elias Leonard, and Leonard battles his way forward for 5 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 5. I asked Robinson St. Louis this week if he liked having a 2-quarterback system. He said, no, not really, but I'm always of the mindset I have to have the number 2 guy ready. And our number 2 guy has played very, very well, so why not make use of him as much as possible? And you're seeing that here tonight. Rost has given a little spark to Elkhart on this drive. This is the best they've moved the football. Gates in motion, Leonard up the middle. Sam Sullivan saw it coming and got him for a loss of 3.
I know we've discussed this in the past about the 2 quarterbacks, and I think that's the best answer I've ever heard out of a coach on why you do 2 quarterbacks. A lot of times it's like, well, I like 2 quarterbacks and they're both good. I just don't know which one, and one's hot, one's not. Having him ready, having him game action, get him in there, understanding the situation, give him a little spark. I think that is a great answer from a coach, the best one I've ever heard.
It's 3rd and 8. Rost this year 13 of 17 throwing the football. You mentioned he's got a nice arm from baseball. He's throwing here. He's airing it out. He's got a man out there, and Jaquavion Eccles was out of bounds.
Wow, great job putting the air under the ball. Just a little touch to the outside. Out of bounds when he secured that ball. Might have had 1 foot in when he started. That is right on the line. Yep. Talk about close. That was about 4 inches from being in there, maybe 5 from being inbounds. Just so close on these out patterns, deep outs.
Now Elkhart in this no man's land at the 44. Not wanting to give Penn good field position. Rodney Gates does not drop very deep for his punts. Penn had great penetration the last time. Here they come, fake. Braden Cook. First down and more. Cook still on his feet. Fumbles the football. I think Elkhart's got it at the 1.
Wow. I think what really confused everybody on that play was who was eligible and who wasn't. I think they all thought the down linemen up by the line of scrimmage were all ineligible receivers, so nobody covered them.
And Braden Cook had the ball stripped by Tommy Paulus, but I believe Tamari Morris got on the football down at the 1. And now a flag comes out, and we'll see if Elkhart may have had too many men on the field.
Yeah, here, let's get an R&B Company wide shot. There you get the wide shot, and that guy...
he was lined up in the backfield.
He was lined up in the backfield because all the guys out wide were actually up on the line of scrimmage as linemen. It's one of those funky lineups that you have to prepare for, but you weren't sure about.
That's an outstanding point. And who knows if they even showed that formation before on film for Penn to see. But as a high school kid, I can understand you're used to everybody in the box being ineligible. So you see him go out, you're fine.
Yeah. Very similar with Mishawaka when they have their wide receivers up on the line and they cover their slot receiver. And they do that a lot, and then once in a while, did a game about 4 or 5 years ago where they lined that slot guy up and had him off the line, and nobody guarded him. It was about a 70-yard touchdown.
We believe the flag may have been a sideline warning. The official on that side was still down talking to Corey Oman. That's why we're waiting for the play to get underway. 1st and goal at the 2. Gavin Hauser, the running back, and he is low. And they give it to him, and Hauser battling, couldn't get there. Short at the 1. He looks up like, can't you just give it to me?
Yeah, I mean, he got lit up in the backfield, but it did not affect him, and he just kept fighting and fighting. He took on 3 hits. 1, 2, another one, 3, 4 tacklers.
And it wasn't the greatest handoff.
No, not at all. Well, the snap affected the handoff as well.
Eli Lupa nearly jarred the ball loose. So you want to bet that Hauser might get it again? Yeah, and this time much easier. Touchdown, Elkhart. It's sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe.
We do have a flag on the play by both line judge. It is coming back.
Yep, false start on Elkhart. And Robinson St. Louis wants to know who. It might have been an illegal formation.
I think that's what they called it as well, because both linemen on both sides threw their flags. So it had, and they didn't stop the play, so a lot of times it's an illegal formation that they throw and the play still happens.
As a coach, do you think that is something that, in its sideline warning, Penn might have been alerting the officials to after the fake punt?
I think on the fake punt, Penn believed that guy was on the line of scrimmage, and that's why he didn't cover him. But if you can go back to the replay that we had, he was lined up off the line just enough to be considered in the backfield.
So you see the Penn coaches, Elkhart now not looking at a 2nd and goal from the 2, but a 2nd and goal from the 7. This would be a huge goal line stand for the Kingsmen if they can come up with a stop right here.
Tonight's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Quality health insurance is linked to a healthier life. If you or someone you need help navigating the world of health insurance, HealthLink can help. Navigators can assist with enrolling in Marketplace, Medicare, and Medicaid health coverage at no cost to you. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more, regardless of your ability to pay. That's HealthLink.
Corey Yeoman wants to hold an officials clinic right now on the sideline. He wants to go back to the fake punt. Meanwhile, Elkhart goes Wildcat. It's Gavin Hauser on the carry. He gets tackled in the backfield. No, he does not. Gavin Hauser goes to the end zone. Touchdown, Elkhart. You thought the run last week against Washington was physical.
I think that was a more impressive run, even though it was a short run, because of what he had to do and the motivation and the courage and the determination he had. Gets stood up, gets away from 270 pounds, and then is able to still get to the corner.
I mean, Wallace Kennick is a load, folks. He is Penn's best defensive lineman, and he couldn't get Hauser down one-on-one. Aguilera on to try the extra point. Out of the hold of Sam Russo. The hold a little high. He somehow got the kick through there, and it's good. 8:18 to go in the first half. And Elkhart, sparked by a controversial fake punt, then gets a gritty, gutty run by Gavin Hauser, and they take the lead on Penn on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for over 30 years. So the Elkhart Lions grab a 14-7 lead midway through the second quarter, sparked by, I'll say, a controversial fake punt only because of the reaction I'm seeing from Corey Ullman over on the far sideline.
Well, it all started with Quinn Ross came into the game. He had a big run, a face mask, another 15 yards was added to that. Really didn't do anything, had the fake punt all the way down. So, I mean, it was a couple little things that made some, it wasn't like they sustained the drive, and what Penn's been doing is really moving the chains. But Penn hasn't been able to finish. I think that's the biggest thing. This Elkhart defense has been able to stand up, bend, but not break.
High spinning kick that'll be taken at the 15-yard line by the fleet of foot, DJ White. And White comes all the way up to the 40-yard line. Another fine play by the Penn special teams tonight.
Another great field advantage here for the Penn Kingsmen. See if they can't do anything with it here, being down 14-7 with 8:11 to go in the second quarter.
So now Penn playing from behind for the first time this evening. The lights starting to take effect here in twilight at Rice Field. And we'll see what young Nolan McCullough can come out and do. 3 for 5 throwing the football for 31 yards. Actually 3 for 6 with an interception. From the 41. JoJo Williams back in the game. We've got a flag thrown and another false start.
Yeah, it looked like Elkhart was going to bring pressure off the corner and came up to the line right before the snap, and it made the offensive line jump just a little bit.
A very uncharacteristic 5 penalties for 48 yards here in the first half for the Kingsmen.
I'm sure that's something that Coach Yeoman's going to be talking to him at halftime about. Nice and calm and collective, and letting them know that they need to correct that for the second half.
By the way, these two teams are in the same sectional, along with Warsaw, currently unbeaten, and Fort Wayne Carroll, currently unbeaten.
What a sectional.
One of the best in all the state of Indiana. 1st and 15. JoJo Williams tries to bounce through people, only picks up about 2 yards on the play.
Of course, with that 6A sectional, all those teams, there's only 4 teams, so they all get a bye the first round. And the 6A teams like it and don't like it. They like it because they can get healthy. They don't like it because they don't have contact for a week and a half.
But folks, if you want to play the guessing game of who TV 46 will do when the 6A sectional comes out, look at the triangle of Warsaw, Elkhart, and Penn.
Yep.
Whatever 2 teams are playing each other, that's where we'll be week 2 of the tournament. 2nd and 13. Nolan McCullough, pursued by Hauser, gets rid of it, and it's tipped away by Tamari Morris. He was looking for DJ White, but I think Morris, the big defensive end, who's a member of Kyle Sears' basketball team, 6'2", went out there and managed to get a paw on it.
Yeah, he rolled out, had a guy open, but he wasn't able to just kind of loft it or touch pass it over the top of the defender, try to throw it more on a line drive, and it got knocked away. He was open downfield.
Yeah, now 3rd and 13. He was right there on the sideline. See a big tight end flex to the bottom of your screen. That's Elijah Coker. McCullough, though, looking to the left. Fires out that way, too high. He wanted Austin Eisel, but couldn't get it to him.
Again, this Elkhart defense stopping Penn in their tracks, not giving them any momentum. After that first quarter ended, they really shut down Penn's offense and haven't really given them much since.
So Grant Mallory comes on to punt again. Sam Russo is the deep man. Mallory has had 2 punts go into the end zone tonight. If that happens here, Penn won't mind. It'd be a 62-yard kick.
For all your aches and pains, visit Competitive Edge Sports and Spine, providing chiropractic and massage therapy in Osceola, next to Wings, etc. Proudly supporting Michiana athletes. Everyone in life needs to find a competitive edge to win. That's Competitive Edge Sports and Spine.
Sam Russo takes the kick at the 27, lowers the shoulder, and gets pushed back by Lynch at the 37. Good 10-yard return for Russo. And now let's see if Elkhart seizes the momentum here with 7:06 to go before halftime.
Yeah, see if they can really feel the momentum out there. You see Quinn Ross coming back out on the field to lead this Elkhart Lion team. See if they can really move the chains to sustain something here. But again, they like to score quick and often as well.
Well, Corey Yeoman talked before the game about the big play potential and the need to avoid those big yardage plays. They did it up until the fake punt. Might be the turning point in this game. Ross throws. Jaquavion Eccles makes the catch and slides across to the 42-yard line, a pickup of 5 on the play. Good safe pattern that time for Eccles, who snares his 10th catch of the year.
Crystal Clear Pools in Osceola is a proud supporter of high school athletics. To all the student athletes, band members, cheerleaders participating in this fall, keep up the hard work and thank you for being leaders in your schools and communities. That's Crystal Clear Pools.
2nd and 5. Elias Leonard in the game now at tailback. And it's Leonard who goes right up the middle, has the first down and more. Leonard all the way to the Penn 44. That's a first down sponsored by 4T Door Systems. You get another look from R&B Car Company at the 14-yard run, the longest of the night for Elias Leonard.
Elkhart really feeling the momentum in their hand right now and really taking advantage of it and trying to just pound that rock down the field.
Gavin Butler, the big junior, with a nice block on that play. 1st and 10 from the Kingsmen 44. Ross throws over the middle behind Rodney Gates. Gates was covered on the play by Taylor Bauer, but if that ball's in front of him, Gates likely makes the grab. You'll get another look from R&B Car Company.
Yeah, you'll see a look at it here. Just a great job of getting the ball down the field, a little behind, but I'm sure Gates would have said that he should have caught that as well.
2nd and 10 at the 44. Quavian Eccles and Trayvon Brown split wide of Quinn Ross this time. Ross, the son of one of Elkhart's athletic directors, Jackie Ross. The handoff here to Javen Sharp.
Wow.
He breaks a tackle. And Sharp powers forward to the 36-yard line for a pickup of 8.
Again, just a great job by this Elkhart offense running, their running backs really driving their legs, not going down on the first hit. I mean, just a good job of coming up, filling the gap, but Penn did not wrap up again. They're not wrapping up. They're hitting, and they're just kind of expecting them to fall down, it looks like, and they're not wrapping up completely.
As a group, the 3 of them, I would say the Elkhart running backs running as hard as any group we've seen this year.
Yeah, every single time they get the ball, they are running as hard as they can. They are very motivated tonight.
3rd and 3, but this time no blocking on the backside of the play, and that's where Rylan Frazier came in from the outside linebacker position. The 6'2", 202 junior gets the hip behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like he had a little slip running the ball there as well, right before the contact. A lot of times you get in these short yardage situations and you change your running style. It's one thing you cannot do. You have to continue to run the same way.
4th and 3, and Elkhart decides it will go for it here at the Penn 37. Big play for this Penn defense. They've got 5 on the line of scrimmage. Ross to Elias Leonard, and he powers and gets the first down with 2nd effort. He put the hand down to make sure his knee wouldn't and got one last surge to get 4 yards instead of 2.
What a great job of putting the hand down. I'm sure they use that drill in practice all the time. Put the hand down, get that extra yards, especially in a short yardage situation. big call on 4th and 3 to run the ball right up the middle.
And it doesn't hurt if your center, Luke Davis, can give you a little shove from behind that time to get you across. 1st and 10 from the 33. First down sponsored by 4T Door Systems. Play action. Rost wants to go for it all, but there's nobody out there. Play was well covered. Trayvon Brown hesitated on the route, and I think it might have just been a go.
Yeah, a little bit of a go route to the outside. Ross threw it to the inside and wasn't able to come back to the ball.
You know, the funny thing is, we've said Rost has given them a spark, but he's only 1 of 4 throwing the football so far for 5 yards. The running game, the offensive line, is really the job doers right now.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. You know, Ross had the big run to start it off, but now the running backs are feeling that. And I think with the momentum after they scored after the fake punt is really giving them that momentum, and they're running even harder.
So now they're going to send 3 people at Gavin Hauser, and that's not a bad idea. Jackson Griffith leading the charge that time, along with help from R.C. Glover, the big 235-pound senior tackle. Hauser stopped for no gain.
Granger Lawnmower is proud to support the Kingsmen. While it's warm now, winter is around the corner. Schedule fall service on tractor and preseason service on your snow thrower. Pickup and delivery available. Check out GrangerLawnmower.com.
Elkhart looking at a 3rd and 10. Quinn Ross came in the 2nd quarter and has been the quarterback throughout this stanza for Elkhart. Long count, and finally, I believe it was a delay of game on Elkhart. They're not using the play clocks here tonight, so the quarterback's got to keep an eye on the back judge, and apparently there wasn't a close enough one.
Well, a lot of times what happens is if you have one of the play clocks not working properly, they have to dismantle both of them, and they have to keep it on the field. And we heard that before the game there was going to be a little bit of that maybe possibly happen tonight because one of them was kind of in the tweaks. IT department didn't quite get over here in time.
3rd and 15 now for Elkhart. Lions spreading the field with Jaquavian Eccles up top, but it's Nathan Munson on an end around. And Munson, the big tight end, stymied after a pickup of 5.
Does a really good job of fouling his blocks on the outside. Got the 2 guards pulling to the outside, fouled them well, and was able to pick up 4 or 5 yards on the play. Still brings us up 4th and 10.
And the thing is, you're not in field goal range or anywhere near it. You certainly don't want to punt from the 33.
No. And the way your defense has been playing, you go ahead and maybe put Gates in here on a little route across the middle and try to hit him for a 15-yard pickup.
He has thrown a pass for 43 tonight, but he has not caught one tonight. He's Elkhart's leading receiver. Let's see if Ross looks that way. Oh, he dropped the football, and Penn's going to get it at the 43. That's a nightmare for Robinson St. Louis.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because RushCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the RushCore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Penn with only 1 timeout remaining, 2:09 to go in the half, and the ball at its own 43. So we'll see what the Kingsmen can cobble together here. Nolan McCullough signaling the play to his teammates. DJ White in motion. They go up the middle with Bayless, and Bayless carries it to the midfield stripe, a pickup of 7. Jake Bayless now with 39 yards on 8 carries. Hurry up offense in mode for Penn.
Be a good stop for Elkhart if they can able to stop them. They won the toss, deferred to the second half, so they will get the ball in the second half.
They give it to Bayless again, and this time the Elkhart defense is there and waiting for him. Marion Dye and Tamara Morris, 99 and 98, 86 the play.
Hardware Plus is a proud supporter of high school sports and has been Osceola's favorite local hardware store for nearly a century, featuring a wide selection of products and customer service experts. Hardware Plus, where the service begins with the words, "How can I help you?" and a handshake.
3rd and 6. McCullough rolls out, wants to throw, lobs it down the field. DJ White makes the scoop on the shoestrings at the 42 for a first down, sponsored by Clover Machinery Movers.
Oh, what a great job of getting his hands underneath the ball in this reception. Here you can see a great R&B Company replay. Nice job of McCullough getting it down the field, getting his arms underneath it. Great reception, big first down pickup for Penn.
14 yards and a first down. McCullough again to throw, has a man out there. Again, the catch is made. This time it's Elijah Coker, picking up a gain of 9, but unable to get out of bounds.
Remember, Penn used 2 early timeouts in that first quarter. Only 1 left here with 45 seconds to go.
See the clock, upper right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard, 2nd and 1. Penn having problems getting the lineup set, losing valuable seconds. McCullough's going to roll right. Now he wants to look back to the left and throws it away. He had an open man there in the middle of the field. It was Kellen Watson, but he elected to just throw it away and stop the clock with 26.3 remaining.
Yeah, I think on that play with it being 2nd and short, it might have been quicker just to snap the ball and down it, throw it in the dirt, making sure that they stop the clock and get an actual play called, because they were kind of scrambling around, wasted a lot of time, wasting 20 seconds because there's 45 on the clock when they lined up under center.
The kicker, Grant Mallory, has booted home a pair of field goals this year, including the 36-yarder. In warm-ups, he was accurate within 40. McCullough off a low snap. Over the middle, knocked away and intercepted. Maurice Harris. And Maurice Harris goes down the sidelines and is knocked down at the 37, and a flag comes in late.
Man, if that is a personal foul, that's going to move him down to about the 15-yard line. Huge pick. What a great acrobatic play, knocking that ball back and the awareness to pick it off and run it down the field. Could be a sideline warning, too.
We'll see if we get another look here from the R&B Car Company replay after Dave Spencer makes the call. Actually, we won't wait for Dave because that'll take too long. Here's the ball tipped in the air. It was tipped away by Preston Stymack, and then Maurice Harris comes over and makes the pilfer his 2nd interception of the year. And at the end of the play, we'll see if we can pick up what happened here. Still not sure what would have merited the flag right there.
They're still discussing it. Veteran crew here, they definitely want to get this play right because they know with the amount of time left in the field position, it's a crucial call.
It is a penalty against Penn.
Yeah.
Oh, they had an ineligible man downfield on the pass, but I don't know why that would have been thrown in at the end of the play.
Unless it was like an ineligible participant.
That could be. Maybe they had 12 men on the field.
Yeah, I think that might have been what it was. 12 men on the field, illegal participant.
So a 15-yard penalty moves the ball to the 20. Now Brady Kruper comes in at quarterback.
Elkhart with 2 timeouts as well.
13 seconds, 2 timeouts. You can air it out a little bit.
Probably
right here.
have about 3 plays here.
And they will. They'll throw a bullet.
Ooh.
And it was nearly intercepted by Jackson Griffith as they look for Jaquavian Eccles.
Jackson almost undercut that. That would have been a big turn of events to undercut that play and take it back for 6 points. These 2 defenses, man, the way they're playing tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a pick 6 right here to end the quarter.
Kruper tonight is 0 for 3 passing the football. He also had the fumble that led to Penn's only touchdown. Kruper again going deep. He throws that one and it's intercepted. That is taken down by Penn's Dominic Bonner, the transfer from Elkhart. comes up with a pick from the cornerback position to squelch an Elkhart scoring threat. And you get another look from R&B Car Company as Bonner, the 6'2 junior, elevates over Trayvon Brown to make the catch.
It's a great job of getting your body between the ball and the defender, not getting any separation, and going up to the peak point of that ball.
So 4 seconds left in the half. You have the feeling that Penn's just going to do a kneel down here and go to the locker room, wondering what could have been on a couple of drives tonight, but trailing 14-7 at the intermission. The second quarter changed around for Elkhart on a fake punt play where Rodney Gates was able to find Braden Cook breaking free, and even though Cook fumbled, the ball was recovered at the 1. Elkhart would be pushed back to the 7 on a penalty. Gavin Hauser pushed back, but not to be denied. Elkhart leads at 14-7. Our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week are next on 46. This edition of the 46 High School Game of the Week being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. Corey Oman was still hot coming onto the field for the second half about the fake punt. But Bo Hunt, this is going to be your Bills Heating sideline report. Sorry you don't have a clicker and a telestrator here, but we're going to put up a freeze of the line of scrimmage for the fake punt. Tell me what's going on here.
So we believe this is what Corey and the refs have been talking about throughout the first half since it happened. But right here, when they lined up in this, it's an unusual formation. So when you look at it, you have to have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. So when you count the guys on the outside here from the closest to us, you got 1, 2, 3. Center is 4, and then 3 guys out there is your 7. So when you look at the 2 guys up by the center, they're actually back and not. And you have those 3 guys in the backfield with the punter back there, which you can have.
Right.
And so those guys are eligible to go out and run for a pass.
As are the guys on the ends.
And the guys on the ends are too, but the guys inside are not. So the guys out spread out here, you'll see on the bottom of the screen the 3 guys. You'll see when we get ready to roll it here, those guys stay up. They don't go down the line. So we're going to roll it. The guys go out for the pass, but the guys out here do not go downfield. So they did exactly what they're supposed to do. As linemen, stay back, and then you have the 2 guys eligible down the field.
This play is called Oregon by the Elkhart coaches, and it's a perfectly legitimate play. In high school football, anybody wearing any uniform number is eligible as long as they're in the proper position in the punt, and that's what you just saw.
Yeah, and you know, now we don't know exactly if that's what's going on with the conversation down there, but we have to assume that play, because it's a very unusual play that led to a big score for Elkhart.
Grant Mallory's second half kickoff fielded by Jaquavion Eccles back at his 5. Eccles with a burst of speed. Eccles brought down by the kicker Mallory, his 3rd tackle of the season at the Penn 43.
Well, the confidence is not lacking by this Elkhart Lions team. They come out first play. There is a penalty flag. Looks like it will come back for a holding call.
Indeed, a block in the back called against Elkhart back at the 26-yard line will negate the electrifying return by Jaquavion Eccles. One thing we didn't get a chance to talk about is the rotation that Elkhart has used at quarterback, and it looks like Quinn Rost is going to start the 3rd quarter. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be there for the whole stanza. Neither quarterback threw the ball all that well.
And I think that's one of the things too. It's not like they have a running quarterback and a throwing quarterback. They both run and throw about evenly when each one is in there. So you can't really key on anything of any quarterback coming in there and what they're going to do.
Elias Leonard, the running back in the backfield next to Quinn Rost. And it's Leonard trying to go up the middle. No, it's Hauser. Gavin Hauser, look out. He can fly. Look at him go. Finally taken out of bounds and thrown down by Penn. Dominic Bonner got him. And they'll spot it at the Penn 9.
I really cannot believe there wasn't a personal foul after that. He was on the track when he got thrown down.
That's a 75-yard run for Hauser that puts him at 99 for the night. And look at him take off here, but then watch how late he was thrown down. First, the horse collar, and then he's all the way out to the track before he gets thrown down.
Getting attended to right now, but I can tell you right now, his emotions are very high, and he's going to get in there. Robinson St. Louis just had a penalty thrown on him because he's very upset about what happened there on that play.
I think it was one of the Elkhart assistant coaches that had the penalty thrown on him. And that's what Robinson is upset about right now, is he needs his assistant coaches to settle down as well. But you can understand, because I never saw the flag come out.
Well, I tell you one big thing is, though, is when he got thrown down, there's so many people down standing on the sidelines. The ref wasn't able to see that play, I don't believe, and see Hauser get thrown down on the track.
So we'll sort it all out here. A tremendous run by Hauser for 75 yards. Unsportsmanlike conduct sideline warning called against Elkhart. And that will bring the wrath of Lion Nation. And then another unsportsmanlike conduct against Elkhart. That's going to be, oh, is that a third? So there's what would normally be called a horse collar. Then there was a face mask tossed in. I'm not sure how that would be missed. But then it looks like Elkhart has been hit with at least 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
And are these after the play, which sets up a first down and 10, or are they from the, because they are dead ball? Looks like we're going first and 10 from the 38-yard line. Let's call it there, Chuck.
It appears to be the way this will sort out. Chain Gang is confused too.
Hey, we would like to thank Freshies Pizza. Hey, they fed our crew tonight. They did a great job. Freshies is celebrating their grand opening on the corner of County Road 6 and Oslo Road in Elkhart, and has a great menu with all your favorite pizza toppings, as well as several cheese options to choose from. Give them a try this weekend and welcome them to the neighborhood. For more information on hours and their menu, find them on Facebook at Freshies Pizza in Elkhart.
While the officials sort this out, they're going to march off another 5 yards of penalties here. So it takes it back to the 42. Here's the answer to the TCU trivia question, which we asked back in the first quarter. You had plenty of time to think about it. Prior to reunification, when was Penn's last loss to an Elkhart school? It was Elkhart Memorial in 1985. First and 10 from the 42. Rost keeps it himself and explodes. Quinn Rost. Touchdown, Elkhart. It's sponsored by the Bristol Street Cafe, and there are no flags.
Had to make sure there wasn't any flags, but what a great run by Ross there on the option. Read the defensive end, cut inside, and there was nobody after the D end. You can see a great replay here on the RV Car Company. D end's there, came up, broke one tackle, nobody there to save.
What a job of blocking by the Elkhart offensive line. Raekwon Lemons and Nathan Munson excavating, moving people out of the way, and Quinn Rost only got touched by teammates once he got to the end zone.
Elkhart about to go up 21-7 on these Penn Kingsmen. Oh.
Jeremiah Aguilera bounces it off the upright. We'll see if that comes up to be a haunting time for Elkhart, but they are raucous at Rice after a 2-play, 84-yard drive. And you'll get another look here from R&B Car Company. Let's look at the 2 plays in this drive. First of all, the Hauser run, and look at the line moving people there as Gavin Butler and Landon Miller got horses out of the way. And then at the end of the run, not called a horse collar, no penalty against Penn. The Elkhart coaches went nuts and wound up with 30 yards of penalties. And then on the following play, Quinn Ross takes it 42 yards for the score, and Elkhart has a 20-7 lead. So now the Lions will get ready to kick off. They have only used 33 yards or 33 seconds here in the third quarter. It's been a little nutty here at Rice Field. So Elkhart will get ready to kick it away. Penn has plenty of people back deep. The high spinner taken back at the 7-yard line. And a great hit by Darian Newsom as he lays the lumber at the 22. It was Cohen Turner on the return from the 9 and watched Newsom come like a bullet.
What a fired up bunch of group this Elkhart Lion team is. Offense, defense, they are just pumped. The momentum is going their way. They feel it. They feel the edge on their side and see if they can keep it up and not just expect that this win is going to happen that easily the rest of the game.
So 1st and 10 at the 23. And the handoff to JoJo Williams, who gets yanked down from behind at about the 31, a pickup of 8 for JoJo. So I believe you might have an explanation for at least one of the penalties.
Yeah, so the sideline warning was actually on some people that were on the sidelines. And then the second one was a personal foul for some language that was used after that. So there was a sideline warning that was a penalty because they'd already warned them before that. And then the second one was a penalty on our guy.
And maybe the best way to describe that was non-bench personnel.
It was non-bench personnel on the sideline warning.
JoJo Williams up to the 37-yard line for a first down. So Penn starting to move the ball here as Williams picks up 7 and gets their 5th first down of the night.
Whether it's for the best burger in town, a juicy steak, or slow-roasted prime rib, Heine's Back Barn in Elkhart is the place to go. The DeShone family has been serving the Michigan area for decades, and the food just gets better and better. Stop in tonight and say hello to Troy and the gang and enjoy a fantastic meal with great service from Heine's in Elkhart, located on Lusher Avenue.
1st and 10, always a great time to stop at Heine's. Elkhart showing blitz. Here they come up the middle. JoJo Williams had to hang on to the football. They were trying to rip it right away from him. Tamari Morris is having a nice night for the Lions. Pickup of 1 that time for Williams. So, in fact, they'll only give him the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. Elkhart trying to get just its 2nd win over Penn for any Elkhart school, Central, Memorial, or Unified Elkhart, since 1985. The flags are calm. Nobody else is at Rice Field. 2nd and 10. And whistles. And we've got
delay of game again, or
a delay of game called against Penn. Not having the play clocks really seems to be messing with the quarterbacks tonight.
Yeah, let's see what kind of adjustments Penn does on this drive here on their offensive stance. One of the biggest things, they need to get the ball moving like they did in that first half. They weren't able to capitalize on some of the times they were able to move the chains, move it down the field. Here in the second half, they haven't been able to move the ball at all.
Here's McCullough looking to throw over the middle. DJ White, he could be off to the races. Touchdown Penn. 69 yards from McCullough to DJ White. And the Kingsmen are back within a touchdown. For DJ White, that is his 19th catch of the year, his 3rd touchdown grab, and Nolan McCullough put it right on the money, hitting him in stride behind Darian Newsom.
just a great job by McCullough, putting it in stride, able to break free, pick up that big touchdown, and Penn right back in it. Just the play that Penn needed to get back into this game.
So now the extra point by Grant Mallory, huge. It would pull Penn within 6. Kellen Watson, the backup quarterback, is the holder, and Elkhart jumped.
Looked like you're going to do a false start because Elkhart went to blitz up the middle or go, but they didn't cross the line, and then the kicker actually started his motion forward and then stopped. They're going to call a false start, move it back 5 yards.
Oh, wow. So this is the equivalent of a 25-yarder, but no problem for Mallory as he booms it past the flagpole. And the Penn Kingsmen come up with a much-needed answer. A 69-yard strike to D.J. White. And they're spinning the hits in Kingsman country, down by 6 on 46. We're at halftime of this NIC clash between Penn and Elkhart. Time now to meet our student athletes of the week. They're brought to us by our friend with Tony Letcher with Health Markets. 2 outstanding representatives of their 2 schools. Eli Lupa from Penn, Adley Kime from Elkhart. We always start with the visitors first. Eli is a 3.9 student at Penn High School, where he plays football and rugby. So I got to ask, that's a lot of stuff going on. How do you balance all that out?
Well, I really like to take time in my class and get my work done then, because then I can come out to practice and not have to worry about going home with a bunch of work to do. So I just try to focus on my schoolwork in school.
You start on defense, your twin brother starts on offense. What's it like to have a twin on the team?
Well, to me, honestly, it's like a built-in coach. I mean, on and off the field, my brother really supports me, what I do. I mean, if I have homework late at night, if I don't get it done in school, he's the first one to be up with me late at night to help me with it and get it done. And on and off the field, he just helps me tremendously.
The 2 of you emigrated here from Russia when you were 3 years old. What was that experience like, and what has it been like for you to adapt to American culture? Because I think anybody who stands here and talks to you doesn't think, oh, he's got an accent or anything.
Yeah, I mean, we came here at a very young age. We were lucky, and our parents really took us in, and we adapted. You know, it was kind of like normal life. We just came and, yeah, sorry.
Wonderful. And then once you leave Penn High School, what do you want to do?
I'm looking into business schools at IU or IUSB, just something around the business.
Excellent. I'm sure you'll do great at it. That's Eli Lupa from Penn High School. And over here on the other side, we have Adley Kime from Elkhart High School. Adley is a 3-sport athlete. She runs cross country and track, but she also plays on the Lions tennis team and does it while getting superlative grades. I'm curious, how do you do that little balancing act?
It's all about, you know, using your time wisely in class and making sure you are staying on track of everything and not getting distracted and spending your time wisely.
On track, no pun intended, I'm sure. Yeah. But when you take a look at having to do 2 sports in the same season, because girls tennis and track are both spring sports, how do you figure out which one to be at when?
Well, tennis is my primary sport in spring. I want to play tennis in college, I plan to. So I usually go to those practices, and then I show up to track when I can, and sometimes it includes going to the track after practice, after tennis practice, and at night, and running the workouts then if I need to.
You've also been part of a unique senior class here in Elkhart because it's the first time these 2 schools have been united. The football team has the insignias of both Elkhart Memorial and Elkhart Central on the helmet. What has it been like to blend together?
Well, it's actually been really great. You know, at first you're like, I don't know how this will work just with the 2 schools being such big rivals, but it actually has worked out really great, and I'm so glad to have the team that we have, because I can't imagine not knowing some of the teammates that are currently on my cross-country teams and even tennis teams.
You mentioned you want to play tennis in college. What do you want to study when you leave Elkhart?
I'm hoping to study pre-med, and I really want to be an oncologist.
Terrific. What a noble profession that is. Best of luck to you. That's Adley Kime from Elkhart High School. Eli Lupa from Penn, our Tony Letcher Health Markets Student Athletes of the Week. Stick around. We've got our halftime highlights and stats coming up. You're watching the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Martin Supermarkets. Count on us for all your grocery needs and so much more. Welcome into the Martin's broadcast booth, everybody. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt with you high above the fray as the Blazer Brigade entertains this fandom here at halftime. What a wild first half it's been. Elkhart with a 14-7 lead. But the defenses have dominated today.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. The talk of this game is both these defense, and then also about Elkhart. What's their schedule? Only played teams that won 2 games all year. Were they ready to play in this game? I think they've shown up, and they show that they're ready to play, and they're ready to take on this Penn team.
But the early highlight went to Penn as we take a look at how it got to be this way here at Rice Field. Vincent Horner with the scoop and score from 19 yards out gave the Kingsmen a 7-0 lead. But Elkhart's defense would respond with a score of its own. Braden Cook pilfers the pass at his own 45, and he could go all the way, and he does. 55 yards, tied at 7. It's been a physical game, but trickery as well. Rodney Gates up top to Braden Cook on the fake punt. He would fumble, but Elkhart recovers at the 1. 2 plays later, Gavin Hauser would not be denied as he went into the end zone for the score from 7 outs. 14-7 Elkhart. Penn had a chance to recover late in the first half, but Nolan McCullough's pass tipped by Preston Stymack into the waiting arms of Maurice Harris, and the Elkhart defense holding to a 14-7 lead at the intermission. A look at the numbers, pretty even, Mr. Hunt.
Yeah, I think the numbers are really even. We don't have time of possession on there. I think Penn had a really dominant time of possession, but it didn't matter. I mean, Elkhart's got the lead, and I think it just all comes to this defense, and you look at turnovers, each of them with 2, but I think the biggest thing was with Penn's able to drive the ball, they're not able to finish drives.
So we'll see what Elkhart can do with the ball in the second half as it receives the opening kickoff. The Lions lead at 14-7. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department halftime report. Second half play-by-play from Rice Field comes your way after this on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. Chuck Freeby, Bo Hunt back with you from Rice Field. It is a 20-14 Elkhart lead. Still plenty of time, 8:51 to go in the third quarter. And Penn about to kick off to Elkhart. Both teams who were basically stymied for the first 2 quarters on offense come out firing in the second half. The offensive coordinators made some adjustments.
Definitely did. I think the big play scenarios actually for these 2 teams is the biggest thing. We know both these teams can hit those big plays, and they have here to start the second half.
So Grant Mallory gets ready to put it into play. Jaquavion Eccles, one of the deep men, along with Zach Anderson. And you can see the emotions ebb and flow. You can tell just on the other side how that 69-yard strike got Penn back into this game, not only on the scoreboard, but mentally as well.
Well, yeah, it's not only for them, but you got to take the momentum away from Elkhart because it was going all Elkhart's way.
Eccles still on his feet. Ooh, Penn really trying to rip that ball away. Tommy Paulus went for the pullout, but Eccles hung on at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, that would have been huge there to try to rip the ball out. You know that that's what they're going to try to do to get another turnover so they can take the lead here in this game. Quinn Ross back out there to quarterback.
Ross coming off a 42-yard touchdown run. His Uncle Ron Smith in the house tonight. And let's see what this Lion offense can do here. Nathan Munson in motion. It's Elias Leonard trying to go up the middle. He gets jammed up pretty well by the middle of that Penn defense. Tommy Paulus comes in to make the stop.
For all your aches and pains, visit Competitive Edge Sports and Spine, providing chiropractic and massage therapy and Osceola next to the wings, etc. Proudly supporting Michigan athletes. Everyone in life needs a competitive edge to win.
2nd and 8. Elkhart keeping that bunch formation, but looking for Jaquavion Eccles in the flat. He has it. Eccles plants his feet, Dominic Bonner swings him round and round. And finally, Wallace Kennick stands him up at the 34, but that's good for a first down, sponsored by 4T Door Systems.
Clover Machinery Movers is proud to support Kingsmen Athletics for over 65 years. Clover Machinery Movers has been providing professional and reliable machinery moving. When you need your project done right, on time, and on budget, contact the experts at Clover Machinery Movers.
Ross surveys the Penn defense. 10 on the play clock. Gavin Hauser off the right side. They swarm him under pretty good that time. I imagine he becomes a marked man when he comes on the field. Wallace Kennick says, I may have missed you once. I'm not going to miss you twice.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big things. They're going to key in him. As soon as he comes on the field, now you can see him getting rotated off, bringing in some fresh legs. Elkhart's able to rotate 2-3 guys in at running back to get those fresh legs.
It's one of the things Robinson St. Louis feels is the strength of his ball club is depth. We talked about the quarterback position, but that's not the only position he does a lot of rotation at. Ross throws in the flat again. Eccles makes the grab. Bonner is there for the tackle along with a teammate, and they get him down at the 42-yard line. Elkhart will be looking at a 3rd and 2 after the pickup of 8. For Eccles, that's his 3rd catch of the night for 23 yards.
It's a good job, a little behind the receiver, but a good job of making the body adjust to the pass, picking up the yardage needed to make it a manageable 3rd and 2 here.
Now you've got a lot
down.
of weapons, but you got Hauser in the backfield.
Yeah. Elkhart really needs to pick up the first down here to get some momentum back. They cannot afford to go 3 and out here.
And it's Hauser up the middle, bouncing off Braden Jellison and getting the first down as he's finally spun down up at the 48-yard line. A first down sponsored by 4T Door Systems. Gavin Hauser, 8 carries, 105 yards tonight.
Hauser takes it right up the middle, but there's a big hole on the outside. You can see him bounce it outside to that hole. The line collapsed down. He was able to really bounce it out, pick up the big first down, and move those chains.
Quinn Ross helping Nathan Munson adjust the shoulder pads. Play clock's working again. It's down to 10. Ross looks towards Hauser, but he's going to go deep. He wants it all. Rodney Gates had it broken up. Beautiful defensive play by Vince Horner, who had the scoop and score in the first quarter, and he's able to knock the ball away from Gates at the last minute. You'll see it on the R&B Car Company replay.
Yeah, I thought Gates had that the whole time. You can see right there just a great defensive play and knocking that ball out of his hands.
And Taylor Bauer nearly took it off the elbow of Gates for the interception. Instead, Elkhart looking at 2nd and 10. Robinson St. Louis talked about trying to get his athletes into space. And an illegal shift there will cost the Lions 5.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school athletics. Teamwork is our specialty, working with industry giants like SpaceX and Boeing. For over 60 years, excellence has been our standard, and that won't change. Like the teams in this game, we're always working toward a great finish.
Both of these teams have been uncharacteristically undisciplined tonight, each of them with 6 penalties. Eccles in motion. Hauser. Nope, it's Ross keeping himself on the RPO. Quinn Ross is spun down after a pickup of only 2.
I think one of those biggest things on that one was the defensive end didn't commit. And on that option play, you have to run right at him to make him commit either to you or the pitch man. And he kind of ran to the inside of him and didn't make the defensive end guy commit.
Elkhart looking at a 3rd and 12, only leading by 6. Just past the midway point of the 3rd. Ross, Eccles again. But he who hesitates gets leveled. Wallace Kennick is not going to wait for you to make your decisions.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to wait just a little bit too long for the lineman to get out there on the screen play. When he had the outside, he could have busted it to the outside and maybe got close to the first down and make it a manageable 4th down try. But now looks like they're going to line up for the punt. And watch the formation, guys. Watch, see how they line up here again.
And it looks like Elkhart will use the same formation that it did on the fake punt. So again, 3 on the ends, 1 in the middle. Those are your 7 on the line. Everybody else eligible, and the 2 outside guys eligible. Got to think Rodney Gates is punting here, though. And he is. High wobbler, fair catch called for and made by Jake Bayless back at the 15. So Penn gets the ball, down 6, needing 85 yards to take the lead.
They able to really move the ball that last time. Of course, the big pass play for the touchdown, but I think they did a really good job of mixing things up better that last series.
Reminder, next week we are in Lake City. Warsaw, which trails Northwood tonight, will take on undefeated Mishawaka. The pupil and his mentor, Bart Curtis and Keith Kinder. Should be a fun one. Mishawaka and Warsaw, Friday night at 11, Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports. TV 46.
Going to see a lot of passing in that game, a lot of receiving
Wait,
yards.
what?
Oh, opposite of that, that's right.
Nolan McCullough hands it off. Jake Bayless, like a runaway train, goes up the middle for 8.
St. Andrews Products supplies our crew with the finest and monogrammed apparel, and they can help your team look good too. Promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and much more. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com. The answer to your question is always yes.
2nd and 2. Bayless again finds a seam and finally wrestled down at the 32-yard line. Darian Newsom, the safety, came over to get him, but that's good for a Penn first down. Jake Bayless, great student athlete, 4.0 GPA, also a member of the lacrosse team, the track team, and he writes for the Pennant newspaper with our buddy Kurt Roller. First and 10 from the 32. Pass from McCullough, and he had thrown it to the outside looking for Kellen Watson, but Watson was well covered on the play.
Yeah, Watson well covered there. Ball not really even close to him, so it really wasn't even a chance for Watson to even grab that ball or pick it.
So McCullough tonight, 6 out of 14. That's not electric, but 123 yards is very good production, aided and abetted by that 69-yard touchdown to DJ White on the last possession. Looking at a 2nd and 10. McCullough gives it off to Bayless. Bayless, a little jitterbug move, keeps those strong legs moving and goes forward to the 39. Pickup of 7 on the play. 12 carries, 60 yards. Nice 5-yard average for Jake Bayless tonight. I like the way he runs football.
Yeah, he does a great job of really getting up, picking the yards up, going north-south. Good pickup there, bringing up a 3rd and 4 here. Time winding down, 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Not a crucial series for Penn, but a momentum, still a momentum thing. The momentum's kind of tilting their way just a little bit. And if they can move the chains and really take up some clock and put some points on the board, that'd be big for this Kingsman team.
Bayless next to McCullough in the backfield. Elkhart showing blitz, and McCullough in trouble. Gets to the outside and has the first down. Nolan McCullough, Bulldog down at the 47-yard line. And he'll pick up 8 on the play. And for about the 3rd time tonight, he scrambles for a first down.
Yeah, I think that was a broken play from the start. I think he was going to hand it off and took it out as soon as he saw the defenders in there. Wisely chose to come to the right side to pick up that first down. Smart play, big pickup, move the chains, keep on going.
Elkhart trying to stop the momentum of Penn. Elkhart had a 13-point lead, but a missed extra point right now may loom very large in this game. Bayless up the middle, look out! All the way down to the Elkhart 26. A 28-yard pickup for Jake Bayless, who is making his name known on this drive.
You can see a great job pulling tackle, opened up the hole there. Great job of the line, really opened that hole. Those quick hitters, if they can get through that hole without getting the the linebackers to touch them, you get big plays just like that.
Doug Searles with a nice block that time. First and 10. Spotted at the 27. They'll give it to Bayless again. It's not heavy. And he'll take it down to about the 18, a pickup of 9 on the play.
The Penn Boosters root for Kingsmen's success in this game and all season, supporting all Penn extracurricular activities. For a donation of only $10, you can show your Penn spirit too. Last year, Penn Boosters awarded over $59,000 for academic clubs and teams. Follow them on Facebook or go to thepennbooster.org.
We lauded this offensive line of Penn early in the game, and they're showing why on this drive. 2nd and 1. Bayless again, this time brought down by Moses Fortoso in the backfield. Bayless was lucky to get to the line of scrimmage. Moses Fortoso, 5'5", 250 pounds, just a ball of energy down there on the field.
Yeah, you can see him always chanting, always moving around, always encouraging his teammates. Very high motor on that kid.
Last year, he only had 7 tackles for loss. He's got 11 already this season. 3rd and 1. McCullough going to try to run for it himself. He's got the first down and more. Nolan McCullough to the end zone. Touchdown, Penn. From 18 yards out, McCullough takes it in for the score. His 5th rushing touchdown of the year, and the Kingsmen are an extra point away from taking the lead. He just dragged Darian Newsom with him the last 5 yards. Penn trying to make sure it's got enough people to run their special teams play. The play clock down to 15. Don't really want to have to burn a timeout on an extra point.
Well, I think the 5-yard penalty, they had it last time they scored, and it didn't really affect the Penn kicker at all, and I don't think it would either here.
They get the snap off in time. The extra point is up and good, and the Kingsmen are back in the lead with 8 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Lots of scoring here in the 3rd quarter. Big, big momentum change by this Penn Kingsmen after being down 20-7. I think that's the biggest thing. They were down 20-7. They didn't let any adversity affect them, and they've just been playing Penn football.
DJ White with a nice block from wide receiver there, but McCullough was really untouched until he got to the 5. And Corey Yeoman, well, this isn't his first rodeo. He's been through these wars before, and when his team was down by 13, he rallied them on the sidelines, got them around, and Penn's offense has been dynamite here in this 3rd quarter against an Elkhart defense that came in only averaging 3.25 points per game allowed.
Yeah, I think the big play, the pass play down the middle of the field really opened it up. And I think, again, Penn's ability to not only run the ball but throw the ball and really mix everything in. But the running game has definitely been helped by the passing game tonight.
Competitive Edge Sports and Spine sponsors our factoids. This was coming into the night. Elkhart's number is going to go up. Warsaw's number is going to go up. Maybe not so much for North Judson, LaVille, and New Prairie. We'll see what they wind up doing tonight. But quality teams will do this to you. You're not going to beat everybody holding them to single digits.
And we talked about that Elkhart schedule and, only having, 2 wins of the opponents that they've played. And I think that's one of the biggest things, too, is we knew Penn was going to come in here and score some points. And how is Elkhart going to react? And so far, I think they've done a fantastic job.
Grant Mallory's spinning kick is taken back at the 1-yard line by Zach Anderson. He runs to the outside and has a tackler waiting there for him, Vince Horner.
For the finest in casual dining, look no further than the Bristol Street Cafe, located at 500 West Bristol Street in Elkhart, serving outstanding hearty breakfast and daily lunch specials until 2 p.m. The Bristol Street Cafe is a proud sponsor of Elkhart High School athletics.
Quinn Rost remains at the game in quarterback. This will be the final play of the 3rd quarter, barring a penalty. Again, Elias Leonard lines up behind him in the backfield. Munson in motion. Bad snap. Rost in trouble and gets away from one man, gets away from two, but he can't get away from all those Penn jerseys. He's sacked for a loss of 12 back at the 10-yard line, and emotions are running high at Rice Field. Elkhart seized momentum early in the third quarter, but a DJ White touchdown, and then Nolan McCullough has Penn up by one as we go to the fourth on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by the Electrical Workers of Local 153. They've been making our communities brighter since 1914. Chuck Ruby and Bo Hunt high above the fray. Bill's Heating Sideline Report. You get to do it from the booth with Mr. Nagel announcing his retirement tonight. Your thoughts on this 1 through 3?
We're here for a reason to see a great game, and we're having a great game here tonight. We talked a little bit pregame about Elkhart. In their schedule, are they just kind of on paper, are they good, or are they good physically? They're a very physical team. They come out, they play, they have a lot of heart, they have a lot of courage, and they're not scared to play this Penn team who everybody believes you have to go through Penn, and Elkhart knows you have to go through Penn, but they want to change that. Elkhart wants to be the team to go through from now on, and here's their chance to prove that here tonight.
But some critical errors here lately for Elkhart now have them looking at a 2nd and 20. And the passing game has not been strong for the Lions tonight. Quinn Ross still in there, QB. He is going to run a quarterback draw, and Ross runs into a bunch of tacklers at about the 16-yard line. That includes R.C. Glover. And a pickup of 5 that time for Ross leaves Elkhart looking at a 3rd and 15.
For all your aches and pains, visit Competitive Edge Sports and Spine, providing chiropractic and massage therapy in Osceola, next to Wings, etc. Proudly supporting Michiana athletes. Everyone in life needs to find a competitive edge to win.
So let's see what Robinson St. Louis dials up here on 3rd and 15. Does Penn come with pressure, or do they keep a bunch back for Ross to have to look at here? Flags thrown and whistles blown. And the timeout called by Elkhart. So we'll keep it right here. And I mentioned the announcement by Bob at the beginning of the broadcast, stepping away from his role here at TV 46 after 33 years. He is the godfather of 46 Sports, the man who founded this department. Before he showed up, there were no sports programs on 46, and the idea was that for a religious station to bring more people in. He's worked with great people like Marv Wood and Craig Wallen. For years, they covered the Western Amateur up at Point of Woods, and of course, hosting 46 Sports Classics. And then I had the pleasure of joining the team 19 years ago. You did 17 years, and the guy is just a joy to be around. Where's she at work?
Yeah, and I had the pleasure to have him interview me in high school after games. He's been around that long.
You looked a lot younger then, too.
But just the fact what Bob's done for not only this station, but high school athletics in northern Indiana and across the state is just phenomenal, and just a guy I look up to, and just a mentor of mine as well.
Well, mentor to all of us. I interned for him when he was over at WSBT before he decided to run for mayor, a move that was commemorated. They named a street after him, 2nd place for that campaign. Here's Quinn Ross out of the backfield to Elias Leonard. And the only reason I use that line is because it's one that Bob has used 100 times himself.
And around Mishawaka, he's known as Mayor Bob as well, you know,
So Elkhart now in a punting situation, and the Penn fans, who were really quiet with about 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, making a whole lot of noise over on that far side right now.
Yeah, that big change in the momentum and the way the fans are cheering in the 3rd quarter. Big 3rd quarter by Penn, putting up 14 huge points to take this lead.
So Rodney Gates will punt it away. Long punt. Jake Bayless at his 46. Bayless evades one tackler, and yet another. Bayless finally spun down after a nice 10-yard return into Elkhart territory. And Penn will have dynamite field position up around the Elkhart 42. That's actually a 12-yard return for Jake, who has been one of the stars for this Kingsman team tonight. You might be talking to him a little bit.
I was just going to say, he's having a fantastic night. Really started out a little slow, but really he's having some big impact plays for these Kingsmen.
And Nolan McCullough has steadied the ship after both teams had 2 turnovers each in the first half. No turnovers so far in the second half. You know this Elkhart defense looking to turn that around right here. Their backs against the wall. Down 1. JoJo Williams bobbled that handoff. Didn't affect him too much on this run as he battles his way for 9 yards to the Lion 33.
Crystal Clear Pools in Osceola is a proud supporter of high school athletics. To all the student athletes, band members, cheerleaders participating this fall, keep up the hard work and thank you for being leaders in your schools and in your communities.
Williams and Bayless have taken turns at that running back position tonight, so Bayless worked the last shift, and now Williams has this one. Looking at a 2nd and 1. Might Corey Yeoman be tempted to air it out right here? Take a free shot deep. Oh, movement. Who moved first? Was it the tight end in the backfield or the lineman at the line of scrimmage? It was the lineman. 5 yards and a Penn first down.
A lot of times if both move close to the same time, that's an offensive penalty. 9 out of 10 times it's usually called on them.
7 penalties for 70 yards now against Elkhart. The bulk of those coming here in the second half. 1st and 10 from the 28. This Penn offensive line has dominated here in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Williams again takes the handoff, gets to the outside, scampers out of bounds at the 21. A pickup of 7 for JoJo, who was the sectional champion in the 100 and 200 meters last year. You see that burst.
Yeah, it's nice to have that different speed back, get him in there to change it up from Bayless. You can see Bayless subbing back in, but JoJo getting in there with that speed, that's always really nice to have.
The thing about JoJo, he was a defensive starter 2 years ago, but they moved him to running back. Now Jake Bayless comes into the game. They probably want to run up the middle here. Lo and behold, Bayless tries to cut it to the outside, and he is spun down by Marion Dye. But it looks like he might have gotten to that first down marker. Chain gang already on the move.
Granger Lawnmower is proud to support the Kingsmen while it's warm. Now, winter is around the corner. Schedule your fall service on your tractor and preseason service on your snow thrower. Pickup and delivery is also available. Check out GrangerLawnMower.com.
16 carries, 100 yards on the money for Jake Bayless tonight. 1st and 10 from the Elkhart 18. It's Bayless, big hole up the middle, and he bursts through it for 4. Elkhart did a good job closing that down in a hurry with Marion Dye. Bayless has been the workhorse for Penn all year. He averages about 14 carries a game. He's above that tonight.
Yeah, definitely one of those games where he's going to have to carry the workload here in the 4th quarter. Run that clock, run that clock, run that clock. Guarantee that's what Corey's saying over on the sideline. Picking up the first downs.
It cannot move fast enough for the Kingsmen right now with the lead. Bayless again.
Wow.
Put a move on the defensive end that left him gasping for air and managed to pick up 3.
What a great move by Bayless there. Had a one-on-one defender. You see a great replay by R&B Car Company. Bayless comes up, little jitter, and I'm through the hole.
If Bill Raftery were doing a basketball game, he left a little lingerie. 3rd and 3. And now a timeout called by Elkhart, and we will take it as well. 8:11 to go in this one. Penn with a 1-point lead and marching in Lion territory on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Reminder, we split our frequencies at noon tomorrow on Pulse FM to bring you both Big Ten games. Purdue at undefeated Syracuse at noon, and Indiana faces undefeated Western Kentucky at noon. Western Kentucky, pretty good offensive team. Hoosiers better look out in that one. 92-1, 96-9 for Purdue, 103.1 for Indiana. Our fourth quarter brought to us by 4T Door Systems.
Two very competitive teams in those college games, but I tell you what, I wouldn't trade anything for this game tonight. Very competitive game tonight. Exactly what we wanted to see, and again, these two will face up possibly in the sectional as well.
Huge 3rd and 3 for Penn and Elkhart right here. McCullough on a quarterback keeper, cuts it back inside and has the first down up to the 7-yard line. Nolan McCullough showing that agility, pick up a 5. I was talking to some of the Penn coaches before the game, and I said, this young man seems very poised. They said, he's been very poised since he was a freshman.
Yeah, and we talked about the progress that Penn's able to do and move quarterbacks and running backs up slowly through the ranks and start them at that freshman level, get them some experience, move them to the JV level for a year or two, and then move them into that varsity starting role. And when you have the numbers and the ability to do that, it's fantastic for a program.
1st and goal from the 7 for Penn. Jake Bayless right behind the big offensive line. Bayless, can he get into the end zone? Still no whistle, and he didn't quite make it. He stopped at about the 2.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because RushCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the RushCore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
JoJo Williams in the game now for Penn, taking Bayless's spot in the backfield. McCullough off a high snap, fumble. Elkhart thinks they have it. It was a tough handoff off the high snap. It's Elkhart football. It's Marion Dye who recovered the fumble. The 3rd turnover of the night for Penn. And that might be a game saver for the Lions back at their 2. The snap was high and it threw off the entire play.
Couldn't see, it was a little high, but then on the handoff, we couldn't quite see where the handoff was. It looked like McCullough kind of gave it to him on his forearm, which knocked it out of his hands, and he wasn't able to secure the ball and come down with it.
Now Elkhart needs to at least get a field goal to take the lead, or can they march 98 to pay dirt? Penn, of course, looking for a safety. They won't get it here with Elias Leonard running forward for 4 yards. Elias Leonard, the leading carrier for Elkhart coming into this game, 9 carries, 30 yards. Penn has done a good job on him.
Yeah, I think they've done a great job on stopping this running game for Elkhart. They've done a really good job of really containing, and really Elkhart's only had some big plays that's got them in the ability to score.
2nd and 6. A little bit of breathing room for Quinn Rost. Penn with 7 in the box. Rost lobs it out for Eccles. Eccles makes the catch. Dominic Bonner grabs the face mask, and Elkhart will get a first down.
3 flags coming in on that, on the tackle. You could see that from all the way up here. Personal foul, face mask. Mr. Spencer on the call.
First down sponsored by 4T Door Systems. So give them 5 on the pitch and catch. Every one of Ross' completions, by the way, has been to Jaquavion Eccles tonight. But that's a real easy call. When the head spins like Linda Blair in The Exorcist,
Yep.
you got trouble.
You got to run. Oh, no, it's a flag.
That's true, too. First and 10 from the 27. Eccles in motion, but it's Hauser up the middle. 8-yard pickup. Gavin Hauser with 113 yards tonight. Most of them coming on a 75-yard run early in the 3rd.
Big drive for Elkhart here again. They have a little bit of momentum. They have to have that fight in them right here on this drive. They need to go down. They need to be able to take this lead and show them that they're not afraid of them and they're ready to win this game.
And obviously the comfort zone for Rom St. Louis would be a touchdown because they haven't tried a field goal yet this year. Ross will keep it himself and did not get the first down. He stopped a yard short.
Penn doing a great job of playing that option after Ross had that big pickup for the touchdown on the option last time. But just a great job of really playing that and knocking it down. Big 3rd down and 2 here.
Elkhart started the game rotating quarterbacks, but it's been Quinn Ross throughout the second half here tonight. 3rd and 1. You got to think you go with your money back Hauser here. They do. He gets the first down. He's still on his feet and finally goes down at the 41-yard line. He just takes haymakers in there.
I just love the way he runs, too. He runs with motivation. He runs with leverage, and he keeps his legs driving. A little banged up coming off the field here. You can see his leverage that he has in his angle. You can see he's driving. His lower half is down a little bit, so you know he's going to move forward, and he's going to pick up 2-3 yards every time he carries the ball.
Trainer over talking to him right now. He is definitely hobbled after that play. Elias Leonard goes back in. Elkhart looking at 1st and 10 from the 42. And it's Leonard off the left side, and he stumbles forward for a yard. That's it.
Hardware Plus is a proud supporter of high school sports and has been Osceola's favorite local hardware store for nearly a century, featuring a wide selection of products and customer service experts. Hardware Plus, where service begins with the words, "How can I help you?" and a handshake.
Remember, Elkhart started the drive back at the 2-yard line. So they've made great progress. They've moved the ball 41 yards, and they're still in their own territory, and the clock becomes a factor. Elkhart with only 1 timeout remaining. Rodney Gates in motion, but it's Leonard off the left side, and he exploded through that hole for 8. One of his best runs of the night. Take another look on the R&B Car Company replay. And that left side with Braden Jellison and Raekwon Lemons, they put both the big men on the same side that time, and they did their job. And now they put them on the right side along with Munson. Hauser back in the game. Where do you think this play is going?
It'll be a deep pass play or a run up the middle.
It's Hauser, but Penn smelled what was coming as well.
Yes, they did.
And Ryan Trieber makes the stop. And now Elkhart looking at a 4th and 2 to keep in the game.
Elkhart with just 1 timeout. Do they use that timeout on this play?
I think they want to find a way to get Hauser back in the game. If they're going to do that, they better call the timeout now. Play clock down to 15. Now it's at 10. Everybody on their feet. Great. Oh, they went wildcat to Hauser, and I think Elkhart jumped offside.
Timeout.
No, Elkhart called a timeout. We've got the officials say Elkhart used the timeout with 2:21 to go, and now they are bereft of timeouts with 2:21 left. What a ball game at Rice Field tonight. The winner of this one goes 1-0 in the NIC. For the Penn Kingsmen, that would be a real big deal because, believe it or not, with all the success they've had over the years, they have not been the outright winner of an NIC football title since 2017. That factoid brought to us by Competitive Edge Sports and Spine.
Very, very deceiving. A Penn team that's had lots of success, but not having that sole possession of that conference title, which means a lot to teams and coaches and players in the community to have that sole possession and not a tie.
And Casey McKim and the New Prairie Cougars sitting over there in Rolling Prairie, taking notes, watching this one, saying,
Yep. They got St. Joe tonight. Both of them still undefeated in the big side.
So Elkhart will go wildcat for a 4th and 2 from midfield. Game on the line. Hauser up the middle, first down and more, all the way to the Penn 42. He is a beast. First down sponsored by 4T Door Systems.
Great job by the offensive line of getting the push. I think that was the huge thing. Biggest thing on that was getting the offensive line to move forward for Hauser to get that first down.
2 minutes and counting. Quinn Ross back in the game at quarterback. At some point, Elkhart's going to have to air one out here. And a flag thrown. They're counting players on the field, and I think Elkhart had 12. Maybe not. Illegal participation against the Lions.
Right now.
That's a huge 5 yards.
I wonder if they brought in that extra guy for that last play that we didn't see, and they were all bundled up.
Well,
and
no,
he
they're
stayed in
shuttling
there.
people in and off. I mean, Rost was not on the field for the last one, but I think there's just confusion.
Yep. Well, yeah, you take Ross off, you bring in the extra lineman in for that last play, and then he ended up staying out there when Ross came back in.
He thought that'd be a great idea. It wasn't. First and 15. Clock, upper right corner, the Ontario Credit Union scoreboard. Ross will throw. Eccles is short. Couldn't catch it. Probably a break for Elkhart right there because they would have lost a lot of time with the completion. Bo Hunt's going to go downstairs and get ready for the player of the game. We'll see if somebody from Elkhart steals the honor away. If not, it may well go to Jake Bayless from Penn, who's had 112 yards rushing tonight. Second and 15. Rost, bullet over the hands of Trayvon Brown. It's incomplete. Quinn Ross, 5 of 11, 31 yards tonight. No interceptions. And now Brady Kruper is going to come into the game. Kruper, who is 0 for 4 tonight with an interception. But the senior gets his shot. He started the game. He'd love to finish it. On a high note, Kruper unloads down the field. Rodney Gates down to the 18. They'll spot it at the 19. A 28-yard pickup from Kruper to Gates. And for Gates, the leading receiver for Elkhart, his first catch of the night from 4T Door Systems. You see it from the R&B Car Company replay. Remember, Elkhart only needs a field goal. Kruper wants the home run ball. It's intercepted. Jackson Griffith with the interception, and that should ice it for Penn. Griffith with his first interception of the year. The third turnover of the night for Elkhart. And the Penn Kingsmen are going to come out of Rice Field with a 1-point win. Watch it again on the R&B Car Company replay. Kruper threw right over the middle and never saw Griffith there. He was thrown into double coverage. So Elkhart has no way to stop the clock. There are no timeouts left. And Penn rallies from a 13-point deficit in the third quarter to come out of here with a 21-20 win in one they'll be talking about in both Granger and Elkhart for quite some time, or at least until the postseason. The Kingsmen can go into victory formation, but Corey Yeoman wants a timeout. It's sponsored by Klein Custom Homes to talk about it and make sure his team knows what to do. They had come in here after 2 big losses to Cathedral and Cincinnati St. Xavier, but it was a confident group that I spoke with over at Penn last week. They understood that they had played top-flight competition, and they thought it would help them. And when their backs were against the wall, they came up with a big turnover here. Jackson Griffith member of the baseball team that won a state championship in the spring, comes up with a big play here on the gridiron. Corey Oman, one last word for Nolan McCullough, and that is make sure you get the snap and secure it. With 1:07 left, that is the only thing that could go wrong for the Kingsmen to cost them the football game here. Elkhart was in field goal range, although a field goal hardly automatic at the high school level. And there's one of the knees by Nolan McCullough. He just needs one more, and this will be a finished ball game. Penn will go to 3-2. Robinson St. Louis suffers his first loss as the Elkhart head coach, as they drop to 4-1 on the year. You could not have asked for a better one here at Rice Field tonight. So one last snap of the football. Penn has it, and Nolan McCullough and the Kingsmen celebrate the victory. What a win for Penn. A heartbreaking loss for the Elkhart Lions, as you see the final seconds tick down in a 21-20 Penn victory. Now don't go anywhere, because we have a lot to talk about on our St. Joe County Police Department postgame show. That includes our player of the game and our electrifying play of the game from the electrical workers of Local 153. It all comes your way next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
Based on sample size, whenever Penn and Elkhart get together at Rice Field, you can count on a classic. We had one here tonight on TV 46 as the Penn Kingsmen come from behind in the second half and win 21-20. A dejected Elkhart squad on the field right now, but they know they might get another chance as we bring you back inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby high above the fray. Bo Hunt will join us in a moment with our player of the game. What a performance by both these teams tonight. But a game that was a defensive struggle in the first half and had Elkhart leading 14-7 at the half, then saw the offensive fireworks. Gavin Hauser's 75-yard run, terrific touchdown run by Quinn Rost from 42 yards out, gave Elkhart a 20-7 lead. But that missed extra point came back to haunt the Lions, because Penn was able to hit a 69-yard strike to DJ White, and then Nolan McCullough a running touchdown, and they wind up winning 21-20. But McCullough would not have been in position to do what he did tonight if it weren't for the running of our player of the game. Jake Bayless stands by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Jake Bayless. First off, congratulations. This is a big victory over here at Rice Field.
Oh, man, I just appreciate it so much. You know, it's just awesome to come out here and play for the Penn Kingsmen. Everyone's supporting us. We just thank him so much.
Your offense was a little shaky in the first half, but the third quarter, you guys really pulled it together. 14 points. Just talk about the adjustments at halftime.
I think we all just went in the locker room and we said to ourselves, you know, we got to fix this. We got to get better. And we looked ourselves in the eye and we said, what are we doing wrong? What do we need to get better at? And what do we need to incorporate in our offense? We came out here, we stuck it right at them, and it was just a perfect second half. Just awesome for us.
That defense really stepped up, especially on the last play there. Just talk about your defense.
I love them all. Number 39, Jackson Griffith, has been my best friend forever. So it's so awesome to see him make that play. Love that. But the rest of our defense, incredible job stepping up. I'm so impressed. We couldn't do it without him, sir.
You guys moved to 1-0 in the conference. How important is it for you guys to win that conference title?
It means everything to us. It means everything to our coaching staff. I mean, everything we work for is to win championships. Like Coach Yeoman says, every single week we have to win championships, and that's what we're going for, sir.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So Elkhart obviously dejected on their field right now. They have to find a way to bounce back from this one. They've got a lot to play for the rest of the season, no question. And Penn, they talk about championship games every week. They've got one with Marion next week.
I think the biggest thing with Elkhart is they came in here and they have to believe that they're with the best teams in the northern Indiana and in the state. I mean, they played nose-to-nose with Penn. They were up 20-7, gave up 14 points in the third quarter and just couldn't get down and couldn't capitalize on it, but just a great effort.
And as we talked about these teams in the sectional with Warsaw, which lost to Northwood tonight, and Fort Wayne Carroll, that's going to be a dandy 6A sectional. Can't wait to see how that one sorts out. But first, before we go, we have to give you our electrical workers local 153 electrifying play of the game. And it happened at the very end of the game when Jackson Griffith stepped in front of the pass, got the interception, and sealed the victory for the Kingsmen.
Just a great job overall for the whole Penn Kingsman defense as well. They just played a superb game, and Jackson with a great job of really coming in and intercepting that ball to really seal the deal for them.
This game had a little something for everybody. Wait till it's posted on YouTube on Monday. People will be watching all over the place. So Penn now goes to 3-2 on the year. Elkhart falls to 4-1. Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who brought you this one, including our production manager, Dean Korsmo, Tony Beltran helping them out, as well as our talented crew of passionate men for high school football each and every week. A reminder, college football on the radio this weekend. It's Purdue and Syracuse on 92.1 and 96.9, Indiana and Western Kentucky on 103.1. And then next week we head down to Lake City. Warsaw, Bart Curtis and the Warsaw Tigers smarting after that loss to Northwood. Away to visit from number 2, Mishawaka. We'll bring it to you Friday night 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Don't forget to follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and the Instagram for all the latest sports updates. For the Hall of Famer Bo Hutt and happy retirement Bob Nagel, Chuck Freeby, 21-20, the Kingsmen prevail. So long from the city with a heart.